Hey guys, welcome to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. My name is Ryan Chambers, and I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, the only Dallas Stars fan-led podcast and the official Dallas Stars podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Thank you guys for tuning along with us tonight. This is going to be a watch-along of the Stadium Series game against the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators. And here tonight, we're going to have a good game for you guys tonight. This is a Stadium Series game, so this is a real exciting thing that's going to be held outside where the Tennessee Titans actually play. And for tonight's game, they have a bunch of country music planned out for everybody. I'm currently watching the TNT feed, and it looks like a Wayne Gretzky's sweater vest just got retired by the TNT broadcast team. So I'm loving what I'm seeing already from this game. But I'm really excited to be with you guys here tonight, and we're going to get along with y'all's comments and everything. But before we get started here tonight, I want to make sure that you guys thank the DraftKings Sportsbook company, because they're the ones that allow us to do all this cool stuff, all this fun stuff. They allow us to, put on watch-alongs like this. They allow us to do all these things, all the guys here on the Hockey Podcast Network, they allow us to do all of these things. And it's just fantastic what they're able to do for us. And we're able to do some of the stuff for free. So, oh my goodness, Paul Bissonnette, he needs to take that hat off right now. I've got a giant TV right behind my screen here, so I can see and make sure that I'm following along with the game here right now. But what I want to know from you guys here tonight before we get started is, what's your prediction for tonight's game? And what do you think the score is going to be? What do you think it's going to be like? And Front Row Productions is already asking. I was literally just thinking about this. What's the temp in Nashville? That's a good question, because at least where I am in Texas, it's been absolutely freezing. And I guess freezing for Texas is like, in the 30s. It's relative, but whatever. But anyways, let me know y'all's predictions for tonight's game here. I'm not really biased in this game, because normally I like to kind of root for a team and go for it, but as a Dallas Stars fan, I kind of hate both teams in this particular case, because one team destroyed us in the 2020 bubble playoffs and won their first Stanley Cup since 2004. And then the other team is the Nashville Predators, which, obviously Central Division teams, we can't stand Nashville as Dallas fans. So either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good game. Really, the only kind of like connection I have to either one of these teams is Corey Perry. And it's just because Corey Perry, obviously was on the Stars for a year. He was with the Stars when we went to the Stanley Cup final. And, I feel for him, and because he's lost 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row, once as a Dallas Star, once as a Montreal Canadian. So maybe third time's the charm for Corey Perry. I guess we'll see at the end of this year. But what I'm also hoping with Corey Perry is that we don't see the walk of shame that we saw in the Winter Classic, obviously, when the Stars were wearing this jersey right here. Let's just hope that doesn't happen again. And let's just hope, I guess Ryan Ellis is not on the ice for him to do that. So hopefully that's a good thing. But we'll see how that goes with all of them. But anyways, guys, we would also appreciate it if you guys would like, comment, subscribe on this channel. We do watch-alongs like this every single day for numerous teams across the board, and you'll see it throughout the season. And we're really excited to bring that stuff to you. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, you like it, and you comment. And especially right now, comment and let me know what you guys think will be the final score in tonight's game. So it looks like I'm going to go ahead and just start with the beginning up here with the comments, and I'll kind of go through these. Connor Buckley is saying 4-2 Lightning. Okay. So there's one Lightning there. Front Row Productions first. Not quite. Connor was first. Sorry, first Front Row Productions. Jacob Eichel loves THPN. Sadly, I was first. Sadly, I'm gonna need some more context behind that. James Sorensen saying the final score will be Tampa Bay 3, Nashville 1. Yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Jacob Eichel actually says Nashville 4, Tampa Bay 1. So right now it looks like it's going to be right now it's 2-1 in favor of Tampa from 3 comments we've seen so far. So we've seen let me go back through this. 4-2 Lightning, we've seen 3-1 Lightning, and now we're seeing 4-1 Nashville. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this goes. What of a heck of a game for Vancouver, 8-1. Yeah, seriously, I did not see that game coming recently from Vancouver. And Vancouver actually has a shot to actually make the playoffs. And considering where they were at the beginning of the season and the fact that they were just down in the dumps, and especially as a Stars fan, we lost to them 6-3 when they were really sucking it up, and I was really frustrated. But hats off to them, and especially Bruce Boudreau for going out and taking the team the way that it was, and getting them at least in contention for a playoff spot. So we'll see how that goes for them. James Sorensen, it looks like he's just kind of saying it for all the games tonight. Tonight I have the Kings, the Avs, and the Leafs all to win. What do you guys think? I'm with you on all 3, although I hope Los Angeles doesn't win just as a Stars fan. So we'll see how that goes. Let me get to some more of the more recent comments here. Let's see. Stars are making the playoffs, calling it right now. Dude, I don't know. That is a complete, can of worms for me right now. I don't think they will. They just, and I'm not going to go too much into a soapbox because this is the watch along for the Lightning and for the Predators, but the fact that the Stars have left so many points on the board, I mean, they've lost to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. Like I mentioned the Vancouver game just a second ago, we lost twice to Ottawa, which that shouldn't have happened. And those were at the beginning of the year. We've lost to Nashville, not Nashville, excuse me. We lost to Montreal, was really embarrassing. We've also lost to, goodness gracious. We had that one Vegas game where we were up 4-2 and we lost. There was also the game against St. Louis where we were up 1-0, and then we ended up losing the game 2-1 because in the last minute the refs decided to call 2 penalties. But again, whatever. So just going with it. The Stars have left so many points on the board, and I went back and calculated if they had won like half of those games that they should have won the game, we would be like second in the Central Division right now, and that obviously it wasn't the case. So City Life Project saying, welcome back, Ryan. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a while since I've done one of these things. I think the last time I did it was towards the beginning of the year. I think Seattle's first game of the season was the last time I did a watch along. So I'm more than excited to do this, and I'm really excited to see how this game goes. So just looking back at the TV right now, they're kind of comparing Steven Stamkos and Philip Forsberg. And I mean, both guys are kind of top in their profession and offense and everything. But I've heard rumors recently that Philip Forsberg may be on his way out from the Nashville Predators, which kind of surprises me, to be honest, because that this Nashville team wasn't seen. I mean, I personally did a predictions for each of the divisions at the beginning of the season. I did not expect Nashville to be top 3 in the division or even right now in the wild card where they are. So, I mean, they're overperforming, but I don't think they should sell. I mean, don't sell. I mean, they've got plenty of cap space too, from what I remember. I think it's like $6, $7, $8 million. So, I mean, if I'm Nashville, I'm going for it, man. Considering the fact that they're way overperforming. So, Basketball Podcast Network, thank you for tuning in. Basketball Podcast Network. They also they're like a sister network to THPN. They cover all of the basketball teams in the NBA, and really appreciate it if you go and check out their stuff. RJ Calabro Sports Scoreboard Schedule Update. Man, that's a mouthful. I can't even talk normally like that. Today's scoreboard: Oilers 4, Panthers 3. The Panthers have actually been losing quite a few games recently, so that's actually really, really surprising, but also not surprising considering Edmonton's been playing a lot better recently. Washington 1 and Philadelphia Flyers 2. Again, that's really, really surprising because Philadelphia has not been very good this year, and the Capitals have seemed to be kind of going down lately. They've lost a lot of games that they shouldn't have. Just looking at the game, it looks like Dustin Lynch, who is a big-time country star, is kind of starting off the game, kind of a little bit of a dance number going on. I'll be totally honest, I don't know much about Dustin Lynch, but I'm sure he's great. I'm sure he's great, which is why he's doing it. And he's leading out and starting off the Stadium Series game here in Nashville. So, SodaPod, I can't believe Nashville has been having a great season. Credit to them and Grandland Rip, but they could be a dark horse in the West. They definitely could. And, the game that the Stars recently had against them, they held in there. The Stars were honestly playing better than Nashville, but they held in there, and Nashville was the one that got the 2 points. So, hats off to them. And, Nashville could, if they get all their players going, they could be a dark horse to maybe be the Western Conference representative for the Stanley Cup. We'll see. Josh Deming, he's the YouTube dude for the THPN. What's up, Ryan? Hey, man, thanks for tuning in and checking us out. SodaPod, the Bruce Boudreau factor. Yes, definitely much. I don't know what's going on with Bruce Boudreau, but it seems like every time he goes to a new place, wherever he goes, they tend to, everything turns to gold for him when he gets to a new place. And he definitely has turned around the Vancouver Canucks. And if they do end up making the playoffs, and maybe even, doing a real quick run through the playoffs, he might be up for the Jack Adams Award. So we'll see. Jacob Eichel loves THPN. Hey Josh, what would it take to get me, aka Vegas's biggest fan, on a stream someday? I don't know. Y'all are gonna have to talk that out amongst yourselves, but we'll figure. City Life Project, thanks for everyone joining. Watch alongs every day of the week. Subscribe and like. Yes, please do so. Subscribe and like this channel. Like I said earlier, that we do watch alongs all throughout the entire season. And we also have lots of videos that we do as well, where we do all sorts of topics and talk about the recent news and all sorts of things. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Live stats up during the period, so stick around. Second of third watch-alongs here on THPN tonight. Yes, there have been there's 2 other watch-alongs going on tonight, so if you want to check those out as well, that's also on our YouTube channel, and we hope you guys will check that out. As soon as this game gets fully started, looks like they're kind of doing the introductions. Oh, that's a cool picture. They've just got 2 straight lines, and they got a camera just going straight down the middle of the two teams. So great, that's awesome. But I will put up those stats as soon as the game truly gets started. But anyways, let's keep going with some of these comments here. I'm moving from Ireland to VC in a number of months. Been watching some ice hockey, and I found my team. Go Canucks. Yeah, seriously, man. The Canucks are a fun team to watch, honestly, too. And I mean, they're probably just as frustrating as the Stars are sometimes, because you look at them and you see all the hey, what's going on kind of comments with how the Canucks are doing sometimes, and the Stars are the same way. But seriously, I'm glad that you're moving in from Ireland to VC in another couple of months, and I'm glad you're watching hockey. Hockey is the greatest sport in the world. So, oh, who is this? Jesse James Decker. I should know who that is, but I don't know who that is. Someone help me out and tell me who that is. Anyways, all donations go to Ryan, City Life Project. He will give you a special shout out if you do. Thanks to everyone joining us for this special watch along. Yes, thank you guys for joining along. And I think we're getting to the point where the game will start any second. But it looks like I'm going to go ahead and bring in a fellow member of the Dallas Stars podcasting community here. I think he's just about ready. Go ahead and bring him in. This is Jeffrey Fink. How you doing, man? How's it going tonight?
Hey, man. It's great. How's the stream going so far?
So far, so good. Yeah. I thought the beginning was a little weird, but I get it. I get it with all the country music and stuff and the square dancing and stuff, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like you said, fellow Texas native here. But I don't know how you feel about country music. I'm not a savant by any means. Don't really listen to any country music. So these are all people I've never heard of before. So, but the setup looks great. I heard you comment on that shot just now, right before the national anthem got started. Looks absolutely awesome. Super pumped to be on here. The stadium looks fantastic. It looks like they have a sold out crowd. So, nothing bad to say so far. But these are two teams that I think you and I both can agree on are not our favorites. But yeah, super excited to jump on and chat a little bit with you about this, because this is definitely good to see everyone getting back to some side. I hate to sound cliche, but the some sort of normal. Really excited about that.
Right. Well, and I just thought it was hilarious that, when we put this watch along together, the two people who were responding to it were like Dallas Stars fans, and they're the two teams that Dallas Stars fans probably hate the most right now. So, anyways,
Ooh, yeah.
but we're really excited to bring this game to you guys, and I've got a giant TV right behind me, so I'm sorry if my lighting's kind of weird every once in a while, but whatever, it is what it is. Let's get to some of these comments here. Some more comments. Looks like an update in the Rangers and Pittsburgh Penguins game, 1-0. That's surprising considering all the offensive firepower that both teams have. And then let's see. City Life Project. Hey, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. Sorry, dude. Welcome. Ryan is a great host. You will love this one. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But we also got Finkster in here as well. So do a shout out to Finkster too, you guys. Show him some love.
I'm new here, so I haven't been able to hop onto one of these yet. So this is if I'm an unfamiliar face, I apologize. More so if it's an ugly unfamiliar face. I'm doing my best.
Oh, well, you're much prettier than me, dude. It's okay. You're good. Sir Alex 369. Let's go Predators. Okay, so we got some Predators fans in here. All right, yeah, and again, I'll say it again. If you have a prediction for tonight's game, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below, because right now I've been trying to keep track. If I remember, we're at 2-1 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning here tonight. So leave those comments down there, and we will shout you guys out with your prediction. City Canuck and I, sorry, can't talk. Could not believe the score, man. 7-1. Who saw that coming? Nobody saw that coming, especially with Calgary on that 10-game winning streak. City Life Project, Bruce, there it is. Someone's gonna have to explain that to me, because I just still don't know where that started. I get it's Bruce Boudreau and it's Vancouver Canucks, but I don't get how it started. But someone fill me in and let me know what I don't know. William America's Studios. Hey guys, hey man, how's it going? Mini Stick Mashers, what's your thoughts on Mikael Granlund? He kind of reminds me a little bit of Patrick Laine in a way, not with the same skill, obviously, but with how streaky he is. Because there can be these stretches of games where, he's a point per game player, and then other times he's not doing particularly all that well, and he goes on a cold streak. So very much a streaky kind of player, if that makes any sense. Granlund is a solid second liner and an international superstar. He is a very solid second liner, though. I should point that out. And looking back at the stream, obviously one of the big storylines coming out of Nashville this week was the retirement ceremony of Pekka Rinne's number 35 going to the rafters for Nashville, and it's the first player in their history to be retired. And honestly, it couldn't have happened to a better guy, and just a fantastic player. He was a goalie for a long time. As a Stars fan, I love to hate him because he was so good. But seriously, I don't think that there's no one that's undeserving, unlike Mr. Pekka Rinne. So, and there they are. He's got him and his buddy up there. I forgot, some sort of San Francisco 49ers player. I think they mentioned it earlier, but I forgot who it was. Just fantastic. Gotta love Pekka rating.
How are we feeling about the jerseys? Have we chatted about that? I know it's been a hot topic since they were released.
Not
How are we?
yet. Not yet.
I'm
And
I'm a bit biased. The Smashville jerseys might be one of the worst jerseys ever made. But the Tampa Bay Lightning setup, I hate to say it, is one of my favorite Stadium Series jerseys I think they've ever done. It looks fantastic.
really, so you really there's the answer for your temperature, by the way. It's 39 degrees in Nashville right now. That's pretty cold. But anyway, so I really think, in my opinion, I think the Bolts jerseys are better, but they're
Yep,
safer too, if that makes any sense.
that's fair. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense? I don't. I'm with you. I don't like the Nashville jerseys all that much. Uh, I'm sorry, Nashville Predators fans, but y'all are 0 for 2 when it comes to outdoor game jerseys, because the 2021 Winter Classic did that. I mean, these are better than those. I think these Smashville jerseys are better than those, but they're still not great. So, but what do you think? Do you think they're worse than the 2021 Winter Classic jerseys?
Yeah, I do. I like the 2020 Winter Classic just because they did have the classic kind of script to it. These are obviously more bold. You can tell by the writing and the setup and everything, and them being the home team this time. I think they had a little more freedom to kind of say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I wonder if the teams kind of have to not adhere, but keep it within a realm of a certain style. But yeah, it's interesting to see. How are we feeling about the game overall? I personally think the Lightning are the stronger team, just because anytime you skate out Vasilevsky, I mean, you, in my opinion, have a better chance to win the hockey game than anyone else you're playing. We've found that out firsthand many times.
Oh,
But yeah, how are we
don't
feeling?
get me started.
I'm thinking a 4-2 win for Lightning.
I'm going to go a little opposite. I think this game is going to be a high scoring one. So I'm going to say like 6-3, 6-4. I'll go 6-3, because
Okay,
6-4
I
may
mean,
be a
pure
little bit too much.
entertainment.
6-3, 6-3, and I'll say Tampa wins, because Tampa's Tampa. But and honestly, speaking of Vasilevsky, do you think he got shafted last year for not winning the Vezina? Because I honestly thought he deserved it over Fleury, and I know Fleury is Fleury, and that was probably his real last chance to get a Vezina, but I still think he got shafted. I think he was the best goalie in hockey.
I mean, I have to agree with you, but Vasilevsky's just always in the discussion, and not to say that Fleury's not, but I've already got a dust up. By the way, Cernak got put in the boards pretty hard. Went down pretty quick. I hate to say it, but very much like the Corey Perry hit to the side of the head, I'm gonna be surprised if they don't send him off or give him a 5-minute major, because that was shoulder to head contact.
Really? So who was it? I know it was
Cernak went down.
But who was the hitter? Oh, Johansson? I don't know. That's interesting, actually.
I think they're asking if he leaves his feet, which
that's a hard one. I don't know. Yeah. So if you're just now joining us, it looks like there was a awkward hit in the corner, and it looks like they're going to take a look at it and see if it was a true penalty or not. It looks like he just got called for a major so that they can review it. I'm just guessing, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think? What would you call that? Would that be a you think that's a major? You think that's a minor? Or
it's
is
so
it
it's a
even
major.
anything?
They're gonna go through with a major, but I think what they're discussing now is if it's a game misconduct and an ejection, much like the Corey Perry hit, circa 2020 Winter Classic. Which not obviously Cernak looks okay, so we can say it now. But how hilarious would it be that now Nashville has the walk of shame, leaving the ice, just like Corey Perry did? I mean, this is almost around the same exact time too.
Yeah, no, it was very early on in the game. You're right.
Oh, okay, so they're going with the minor. Interesting.
Yeah, see, I didn't think it was worth a game misconduct and him getting thrown out, but I don't even know if I would call that a minor penalty. Are they
I mean,
sticking with
it's
the major, or are
definitely
they going with the
contact.
minor?
It's definitely contact. Yeah, they're going to go with a minor. Definitely contact to the head, I think. And Cernak's not one, and not to throw one of our own guys under the bus, where SL Lindell kind of had the namesake of being a flopper for a while. But Cernak's not usually one to go down easy. So I think that's why they took the call the way they did. I'm surprised they didn't do a major, though, to be completely honest with you. I really thought that was I think they were looking to see if he left the ice on the hit, which he did a little bit, but I guess not enough to be, as Razor would say, egregious. So we move on. Power play to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, I didn't see him come back, but is Cernak okay? I'm
It
assuming
looks
he's
like he was
okay.
on the bench and he's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so right now we're looking at a 2-minute power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning right at the beginning of the game here, and that's not a way to start if you're the Nashville Predators, especially in your own outdoor game. So we'll see how this goes. It looks like they're providing some pressure right now, but not so much. There's a shot, not too much. Yep, out of play. Well, anyways, what did you? So you really did think that was probably worth a major?
I mean, just the way the game is these days and seeing how little it takes for guys to get the maximum fine, it's, nothing surprises me. I do have to say, City Life Projects not happy with us talking about Fleury and so much
I was just about to put that
disrespect to
up.
Saros. Saros is having a phenomenal season. I mean, you've got to essentially, you just retired Pekarine's number. It's in the rafters now, and Saros is got some big skates to fill, and I think he's done a phenomenal job of that. I will say that I think a lot of people are surprised with how Nashville's playing this season. I don't think a lot of people had Nashville up, in the fight for the wild card like they have been. I'm impressed by what they've been able to do. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the deadline. They're neck and neck with the Stars as far as the wild card race goes. So we'll see what the Predators do as far as buying and selling. Although the stories that they've been coming out with about Yossi being shopped, I believe, kind of surprising. Didn't really see that. I think he's a $6 million cap hit. So it'll be very interesting to see if they try to get some younger skaters or maybe some defensemen. I can't really see why, but we'll see what happens with them. I think the trade deadline is always super interesting, no matter what team you're rooting for.
Agreed. I gotta pull this up real quick. I forgot to do this for you guys, but I forgot to pull up the flash score. That's my fault. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. I'll figure this out eventually. But I gotta totally agree with you on the whole Saros thing. And hands out to the dude, because the guy is 5'11", and he's able to be a big goaltender for the team as well. So, I mean, serious kudos to him.
Well, I think Corey Perry has officially surpassed his time on the ice from the last outdoor game. So kudos to him, I guess.
But I think that was like the one thing they were probably telling him is just
Yeah,
don't
just don't hit
get a
anybody.
penalty.
Yeah. Perry already had a halfway decent scoring chance too. Wow. Predators had a dinner plate served up to him, and Vasilevsky does what Vasilevsky does best. Wow. Saros
Seriously.
just playing off of his head already. I mean, this is both teams exchanging blows early, 5 minutes in. Oof. Tampa Bay is getting some really solid scoring chances so far already. as well as Nashville. But Tampa Bay seems to be on the breakout already a little bit more.
Yeah, so not too much to report here in the beginning of the game. There's a couple of good scoring chances for Tampa Bay just because of the momentum they're getting from the power play, but that's about it. So
This is a tennis match of sorts. Just a lot of back and forth. I don't think the temperature is going to be too much of a concern for these teams. We're sitting right at 39 degrees, so it'll be much less intense than the Winter Classic this year up in Minnesota with negative temperatures. So I don't think we'll have too much of a problem with that. Which I don't know, Ryan, if you heard about this, but they actually had to warm the ice at certain points in the Winter Classic because of how cold it was, which was nuts to me.
and that's very different from the outdoor games they did during the pandemic when it was out at Lake Tahoe, where they actually had to
Yes.
stop the game and just say, okay, screw it, we're just going to do it real late at night so that it actually freezes. So, but very different. Hopefully that doesn't happen to the ice here, but we will see. Have you been paying attention to the Bolts much this season about how they've been doing and any guys that have been standing out to you?
I mean, not really. As far as keeping an eye on them goes, other than when they play the Stars. Stamkos is just going to do what Stamkos does. He's having a fantastic season per usual. I mean, especially staying healthy is the biggest key. Pat Maroon just got signed to an extension, so you've got guys like him and Corey Perry who are just pests, no matter who they're playing. No one's really. I don't think anyone's really taken off. I think what has been most interesting has been seeing them play the Panthers. I don't know if you've been able to catch any of those games. The Florida Panthers, man, that is one of the most entertaining teams in hockey right now. It seems that every single game they play in, it is just big hits, big checks, high scoring affair. They had a game today. They lost actually to the Oilers, which I don't know if you saw any of the highlights from that, but very surprised to see the Oilers kind of pull that one out on the road in Florida with just the debacle that they have going on in between the pipes and not being able to really just nail down a solid goaltender. But the Oilers played like they have the top two players in the world today. But yeah, Florida to me has been the most entertaining hockey team in the state of Florida this season so far. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in the playoffs and how far they can go if they get a good run going. But Tampa Bay was always kind of that heel in their or the splinter in the back of their heel. So we'll see what happens come playoff time. What about you? Anyone jumped out at you as far as outside of our division that's been really entertaining to watch this season?
For me, it's been Florida as well. Honestly, I've actually gotten to watch Florida quite a few times, and I just love what they're able to do offensively. They just have so many freaking weapons; it's ridiculous. I mean, you got Jonathan Huberdeau, you've got Alexander Barkov, you got Sam Bennett, you've got Anthony Duclair. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody else as well, but they're
let's
just
not forget
so.
Bobrovsky, in between the pipes. When he's on, he's still a $10 million a year goalie.
Right. And he's playing way better this year than he did
Yes.
last year.
The biggest surprise for me on that franchise has been Spencer Knight. He played really well last season when he had the chance, and I don't know what's been going on. Maybe it's a little bit of a sophomore style slump, but there has been some concerns on that front after being kind of like the goaltender of their future, and I don't know how it's going to pan out for him. But it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Florida has been pure entertainment from start to finish. Have had an absolute blast watching them. Looks like Nashville's on the power play now. About a minute left. It'll be interesting if they can get some offense going here, because so far, like I said, it's been just a tennis match, almost like a boxing match of just trading blows back and forth. But both goaltenders have been standing put, having some great great saves so far.
And let me go ahead and pull this up because this is a really interesting comment from Nahum Freeman. He's saying you guys miss Ellis, and I'm sure he's talking to Nashville Predators fans. One thing I can say for sure is I bet you Ellis misses the Nashville Predators because his season in Philadelphia has been terrible. Because one, his team has just been really bad, and two, he just hasn't gotten to play. He's been hurt basically the entire season. So, I can't say that they have, based off of their success this season and everything that I've seen. I can't say they miss Ellis. And obviously that was something that they knew about it. They knew that they could probably get rid of Ellis and make some cap room and they'd be okay. So, but it kind of, it just surprised me about Nashville last year because, we all thought they were going to go down and, be a worse team down in the division. Just because,
first goal of the game.
Oh, my stream must be way behind yours because I haven't seen it yet. Who we got? Is it Nashville?
Yep, Nashville up on the power plays,
Yep, there it is. I just saw
pressure in the offensive zone, staying pesky on the puck. Oof. Jeannot, just right place, right time. Tied up, too, with Ruda. And, I mean, that was just that's a phenomenal goal. You really don't want to give this team momentum. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the fan base in Nashville because they do get loud. They are a rambunctious crew, and they will let you know. So it'll be interesting to see if Tampa Bay can answer back quick here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Ruda was doing in front of the net there. I mean, he just kind of let Jeannot get right in front.
Yeah, that was interesting. Jeannot just doing what you're told from day one, crash the net.
Right time, right place. And so with that, we got about 11 minutes here in the first period remaining. The Nashville Predators have taken the lead 1-0 with about 4 shots on goal each per team. And it was just a really basic play. It was just shoot it to get the puck to the front of the net. And Tanner Jeannot has just kind of skated through, did what he was supposed to do. And, we should probably mention him a little bit too. I believe he is a rookie. And the fact that he's having a fantastic season, in all reality, he's probably one of the big reasons why the Nashville Predators have been able to kind of be back in the whole playoff picture, unlike what we were expecting at the beginning of the season. So, I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. I need to probably look up the stats for this guy because he's been really good, and he actually just dropped the gloves.
We got a tussle. Pat Maroon, old school Donnybrook, gloves on the ground.
That's awesome.
McCarron and Pat Maroon going at it. Boy, this is just turning out to be pure entertainment already. And you know what? If Pat Maroon gets beat down, then I think everyone leaves happy. While we're watching this tummy sticks on the ice, a couple of people in the chat have been asking some questions. Yes, I did see the guy doing the shoey, but through a catfish gill pregame. Also, there's a lot of chatter about the city of Houston getting an NHL franchise. It's honestly, I think the best chance they had was Arizona, and we saw how that landed. I think with Arizona, I think Gary Bettman, that was his pet project, and I think he's too ashamed to admit he's too ashamed to admit when he's failed. And Arizona, the relocation out to, I believe, in Tempe was absolutely terrible. They cannot get anyone to those games. And yeah, so Houston is an interesting situation. For those that are listening to the stream, they used to have the Houston Aeros of the AHL, and I think at the time the owner of the arena, the Toyota Arena, was not willing to keep the ice. It's extremely expensive to have the rink and the arena. So, financial disagreements took that team out of Houston, which is really frustrating, honestly. But I would be interested to see if Houston can get an NHL team, and if so, I want San Antonio to have an AHL team. They had the San Antonio Rampage, excuse me, and that unfortunately is now the Henderson Silver Knights. But yeah, I mean, the more hockey in Texas, the better. So, as much as I may not be a fan personally of the city of Houston, I will say that having an in-state rival will be absolutely gigantic for the NHL and everything. So,
Yeah, and I was really rooting for the fact that Arizona would move to Houston because I personally would love that. Just as a Stars fan, have another hockey team in the state of Texas. But
absolutely.
and I mean, there's other hockey teams. There's plenty of there's plenty of other things that they have. They have NAHL teams, which is kind of like minor league hockey. You've got some ECHL teams like I know that Fink you do a lot with the Allen Americans up in the Dallas area. So we have we have all those little teams, and like out here where I live in West Texas, we have the Odessa Jackalopes, which is an
Yep.
NAHL team. But fun fact about the Odessa Jackalopes, and I didn't know this until I actually moved out here. But Connor Hellebuck actually played for the Odessa Jackalopes when
Yep.
he was coming up in his teen years. So I would have never thought that that he would that would happen. But I just thought that was really cool. But
Yeah, I agree. Griffin asks, when's Pavelski coming to the Avs?
no, you can't have him.
Maybe if you perform the trade in NHL 22 on any console that you play in. As it stands right now, it looks like the Stars have started preliminary talks with Joe Pavelski on signing him to an extension. I think Pavelski is played one of his best seasons ever, and I just do not see him going anywhere with outside of this organization. His kids love it too. So, but yeah, as far I'm interested. Front Row Productions asked what would they call the Houston team as it's still 1-0 Nashville with I'm showing 10 minutes left in the first period.
I mean, really, it's got to be the Arrows, right? I mean, I just don't see how it could be anything but the Arrows when you're talking about a name for a Houston team. But I guess they could have something else that's relating to the space program there in Houston. I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar, but they used to have a minor league baseball team called the Skeeters, who recently changed their name to the Space Cowboys. So yeah, I think
Space Cowboys.
yeah, I mean they're really just pressing the fact that they have NASA there in Houston. So I definitely think that something space related would be good. But yeah, I think it would only be good for the sport. I saw a story today apparently where I don't know where the stats were pulled from, but apparently Major League Soccer, MLS, is now ahead of popularity in front of the NHL, making NHL the fifth out of all five major sports leagues in the U.S. as far as popularity goes. So Faggio asked, so like, can we take Klingberg from y'all? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. One thing you'll find out about Stars fans as we do this stream is there is a very, very polarizing line when it comes to Klingberg. People either absolutely love him or they absolutely hate him. Again, we're watching the Stadium Series with the Tampa Bay Lightning and Nashville Predators, still 1-0 with 8 minutes left in the first period. Klingberg is a polarizing figure here in Dallas. I would want to see someone return for Klingberg if they were to trade him. Fazio, I would like to know what your offer is for Klingberg. Make your offer in the chat, and we'll say yes or no. Ryan and I will be the ones to decide whether or not we're going to trade Klingberg.
Now, I think you and I might be on opposite sides when it comes to Klingberg, right? I'm a little bit more on him and thinking that we should just keep him. But what do you think? I mean, obviously we know the whole contract situation and everything, but if the Stars are really going to go, for a playoff spot, then they need to keep him, even if it's just to ride out the rest of his contract, which is just till the end of this season.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he is a phenomenal asset to this team as an alternate captain for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years. You just don't want to see a guy like that go. It's really upsetting to see that the front office hasn't really, what he feels, treated him well. And I just think this fan base here in Dallas and Stars fans around the nation and the world, it's just really frustrating to see them kind of talk poorly of him because he's done a lot for the team. And I think that he's the kind of player that you want on your team no matter what. And we're in a new day and age of the NHL where offensive defensemen are more valuable than a defensive minded defenseman. We don't have to dive into it too much, but obviously with the Stars and Coach Rick Bowness, on the last year of his contract, he is a very defensive minded, so to speak, coach. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I would like someone or a package deal as far as getting return, but I would like for him to finish out this season with the Stars and test free agency because I think a lot of fans are going to miss Klingberg when he's gone, as much as they probably say they won't.
Yeah, and I'm fully expecting him to be traded in the next month. I just hope it doesn't, because I mean this team relies so much on him. But seriously, if you're gonna get something back for Klingberg, it better be a king's ransom, especially at this point. If you're Jim Nill, the GM. But let's go through some more of these comments over here. Laugh out loud. I remember seeing many episodes of Chuck Norris and Walker, Texas Ranger. That's how I was introduced to the state. That's awesome. And you'll probably figure this out. Texans think they're better than everybody else just because we're one of the biggest states and we know we're better than everybody else. So, but y'all will figure that out pretty quick about us. We think very highly about Texas. But
yeah. Let's see. Our Nashville City Life Project asks, are Nashville and Minnesota the dark horse teams in the West? I wouldn't say Minnesota's a dark horse anymore. I think Minnesota has really turned around, and Bill Guerin has really set himself up for success. Obviously with the buyouts of Parise and Suter going into the season, a lot of people were really taken aback by the decision to do that, and being that those guys were such pillars of the franchise at the time and leading up to this past season. Minnesota is just a very fast-paced team. They don't stop moving, and you've got just so much offensive firepower with them right now. So, they have, I know, tapered off just a tad, but the Minnesota Wild are a really interesting team to see what happens come playoff time. I wouldn't consider them a dark horse though. I think they're on the cusp of having some really fantastic seasons here in the very, very near future. I think we're just getting a snippet of that right now. So it'll be something to see if they can get some momentum going. I know it hurts a lot of Minnesota fans to watch us Stars fans have a Stanley Cup banner hung in the rafters of the AAC. But time heals all wounds, especially if you guys ever get a cup. I think you'll be okay.
Unless you're the Buffalo Sabres, then forever you will always say no goal. But that's not. But I'll piggyback on you a little bit. I love Minnesota and what they've done this season, and I mean they've done fantastic. The one question I have with Minnesota though is their goaltending, because I don't know that either one of I mean they have great goaltending, they do, and either one of those guys could get hot and play really well in a game or whatever, but out of those two guys, out of Kakinen or Talbot, is one of those guys going to get you to the Stanley Cup final and through 4 rounds of playoffs? And, a lot of people would probably say no. And I'm kind of one of those people that I'm not saying no, but I'm kind of on the edge of it a little bit, if that makes any sense. But I mean, ever since Kaprizov came over from Russia, and he completely transformed this team. That's really what it was. And then I think Bill Guerin recognized that, and that's when he decided to buy out Parise and Suter, and it's like, okay, it's time for a new set of guys to be the leaders in this team, and take the reins and go. And to Bill Guerin's credit, they've done exactly that. So, but anyways, Fagio, Heinola, maybe Schmidt, and a second. Is that Winnipeg? Is that correct? Trying to remember. I believe.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, Heinola is he's Finnish, so the Dallas Stars have an absolute affinity for anyone from Finland. Just to check in on the game, still Nashville 1-0 with 5 minutes left in the first period. Shots on goal 8 for Tampa Bay, 7 for Nashville. It's a physical game. It is a very physical game. There have been a couple of dust-ups so far. Really entertaining hockey. I can't say I'm too surprised that Nashville's got the lead so far. Being the home team and in that stadium with a majority of Predators fans has got to be just a huge ego boost for this team, and getting that first goal to really kind of open them up is huge. So, but Tampa Bay has won the Cup for 2 years running for a reason. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out. But yeah, first period, just under 5 minutes left, 1-0 Nashville. I mean, Schmidt, hasn't he kind of fallen off? I know he came over in the offseason, Schmitty, that is. I mean,
because he jumped from Vegas and got traded to Vancouver, and then it was not a fit in Vancouver, and then he went to Winnipeg where he is now. I don't know. He's okay. I don't know if he's a top 4 defenseman anymore like he was, but I mean, I don't know. I still don't think I would take that. Really, what I'm looking for is, probably somebody that can play top 6 minutes or even a first round pick for John Klingberg. So that would be me, because that really fulfills something that the Stars, desperately need. They need goals, and they're only getting it from their first line. But the Wild had a player who had an 80% shootout. That's insane. Absolutely insane.
Speaking of shootouts, I want to question the chat. Anyone that's watching, how do you feel about shootouts? How do you feel about overtime hockey? As a Stars fan, we have a lot of experience with overtime hockey. They seem to have kind of fixed their woes aside from the last game against Nashville and the shootout. But I think 10 minutes of 3-on-3 hockey is just the way to go. Also, again, just huge hits in this game so far between Nashville and Tampa. This is a super physical game, super entertaining to watch so far.
And there's a big hit right there. I don't think that, either team has been the quote unquote better team. They've both played fairly decently. It's just the one chance that went in for Nashville was the one chance that went in. And
that was a phenomenal goal too. Like that,
it was
right place, right time.
So we're looking right now about 3.5 minutes left to go in the first period. It is Nashville 1 and Tampa Bay 0. So already my prediction looked really bad, but it is what it is. but but we'll see how it goes by the end of the stream here. Front Row Production says, I think the name could be Houston Rattlesnake. Rattlesnakes? I don't
Only
know.
if Stone Cold Steve Austin is their mascot.
Yes, agreed. 100% there. I would totally be down for that. That would be okay. Jacob Eichel loves THPN. Fun AF. Yep, agreed. Fagio, if we had to add a first, we take out Heinola.
I would entertain that, because the Stars last season in the draft probably, this is just on paper, drafted one of the strongest classes I think that they've ever drafted as a franchise. Guys like Stankoven. There's just a ton of guys out there that they have picked up that have been having phenomenal seasons in junior leagues, wherever they're playing at. I think that'd be no offense. I think that'd be kind of silly for a team to take Klingberg that might not be in the playoff race. But you know what? I'll take Schmitty and a first, like, any day of the week. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that whole Klingberg situation just sucks. I really wish we could keep him, but I just think he wants too much money, and the Stars just don't see them being able to spend $8 million for another defenseman when they've already given it to Miro Heiskanen. So
yeah,
it is what
agree.
it is.
Yeah, and I think I think Klingberg's gripe is warranted. I think the biggest thing for him was watching Esa Lindell and Miro Heiskanen get those big contract extensions, and then Klingberg kind of sit back and not really have anything happen for him. In the NHL, it seems to be 8 for 8 is the popular contract to give out to defensemen. I mean, you look at Miro Heiskanen, Seth Jones, just to name a few. There's quite a few other defensemen that have gotten the 8 for 8, and it just seems to be the par for the course in this past offseason. So, it'll be a great get for whoever ends up signing Klingberg. I just don't think it's going to be the Stars. I think we're seeing the last of him with Dallas, so they can find someone else to irrationally hate into next season.
Yep, because that will definitely happen, because Stars fans are and you have to understand, a lot of Stars fans are more casual fans, and they're more bigger, Dallas Cowboys fans than anything. So there makes all the sense in the world right there, how Cowboys fans are just, we're going to win the Super Bowl every single year, and then losing their first playoff game. But whatever.
We are known for this fan base is known for overreacting.
100%.
There was an old radio show host on the local ESPN affiliate that called every Monday Overreaction Monday, and it is an absolute perfect description. So,
well, let's go ahead and look at some more of these comments over here, guys, and y'all keep them up, because that gives us more stuff to talk about, and we love to do it. So, but before we get to the comments, it looks like there's about 47 seconds left here as Saros makes a save. And it's going to be Tampa's 11th shot of the period. So 11-11, and it's equal when it comes to shots on goal for both of these teams. And again, sorry, I don't know how to say that. Kanakiainen? I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, Kanakainen.
I would hate ever doing a shootout. It's more pressure on you than taking a penalty kick on football and soccer. Yes, 100% agree. Corey says, hi. Hey, Corey.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in and watching along with us while we watch this game. Fagio, also, Stankoven has one of the best names in the NHL.
Facts.
He definitely does. And for those of you that don't recognize that name, Logan Stankoven is one of the top prospects for the Dallas Stars right now. He's playing in the OHL, and he's having a fantastic season. So and I particularly really like him because he's a small dude. So, I mean, shout out to the small dudes out there, the Alex DeBrinkets of the world.
Yeah, I got a penalty on the Nashville Predators with 10 seconds left in the first. That's
Not a good way to
Yeah.
end the period.
Nope. This is shaping up to be an extremely entertaining game. There has been a lot of physicality, and you got to feel like they've ramped it up because they're in that stadium. But I mean, this is much more physical than I've seen either one of these teams. Nashville, I can't speak for too much. I don't really get to watch them that often. I try not to actually. But Nashville is a physical team. The Stars and the Preds played just a few nights ago, and I mean, you could just tell from the start. Uh, it's just the style of play that Nashville has. I mean, they go out and they play super aggressive. They're hard hitting, but it looks like here it's bitten them a little bit as far as the penalties go. So Saros with another fantastic save, and that's probably going to wrap it up for the first period. Shots on goal: Tampa Bay 12, Nashville 11. For those in the chat, let us know if you're watching. Let us know what you think of that first period. Let us know if you think that's what was going to happen or what your predictions were going into it.
All right, so at the end of the first period, it is 1-0 in favor of Nashville, and it appears, Fink, that we have a game on our hands here. So we will see how this game goes on. We're gonna just take a quick break and get a message from our sponsor from DraftKings, and then we will be right back with you guys right after that break to talk about the first period, some of our thoughts, and any other thoughts that you guys have in this game. All right, and we will be right back with you guys.
All right, teams, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs.
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision.
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring! 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
Hey guys, and welcome back into the stream for the Stadium Series game. This is Nashville against the Tampa Bay Lightning in Nashville. Currently, the score is 1-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators, thanks to a Tanner Jeannot goal. Along with you, my name is Ryan. I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, one of the Dallas Stars podcasts here on the Hockey Podcast Network. And then also along with me, I've got Finkster, who also hosts the What a Hockey podcast. And anyway, Fink, what did you think of that first period? Just overall, what were some of your thoughts?
Really entertaining. It's a defensive chess match right now with a lot of aggressive play. I am entertained, as it were. So You know, a little surprised that there weren't a couple more goals scored, but Saros and Vasilevsky are playing fantastic so far. Aside from that little snafu, making it 1-0 in favor of Nashville, but I mean, you can tell that they're playing in front of a crowd that they're not used to playing in front of, size wise. So pure entertainment so far for me.
I'm loving this game. Everything so far has been absolutely outstanding. The NHL's putting on a good show. The teams are also putting on a good show as well. Some of the players that kind of stood out for me the most, obviously, you kind of already mentioned it, was UC Saros and Vasilevsky. Both of them have just kind of been excellent already. They've saved 21 out of 22 shots so far. And then we also mentioned Tanner Jeannot. Tanner Jeannot has been a revelation for the Nashville Predators this season. And one of the reasons why they're in the position they are is because they're able to he's able to score all the goals that they've needed him to do. But and this is something I kind of wanted to talk about, because unfortunately with the climate of our world right now, what's going on over in Europe, obviously Russia has invaded Ukraine, and it hasn't exactly been a fun topic to talk about. But as a side story to that, there have been a lot of reporters who have been asking NHL players, especially Russian-born players, and Ovechkin in particular, what they think about what's going on in Europe right now with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And Alexander Ovechkin came out either today or yesterday and came out and said, "Dude, I just want peace, honestly." And that's something that I just don't get, especially when you know the situation revolving around this, especially with Ovechkin, and the fact that he's thrown his support behind Putin in the past and stuff like that. Did you have any kind of thoughts about what's kind of going on with all the comments from Russian-born players in the NHL? I mean, should reporters even be asking those kind of questions?
I mean, it's a really unfortunate time right now, and obviously our thoughts go out to everyone over in Ukraine, because it's a really, really sad situation. But at the end of the day, a lot of these reporters, their job is to get a story. They want to be able to bring the thoughts of these athletes and make them more relatable to people like you and I, or the casual fan. So I get why they're asking it. I do understand that they do have a job, but it's an extremely touchy subject, and even more so for people like Ovechkin, who openly supported Vladimir Putin in his campaign and the way that he ran the country. And obviously, we look back on last year with Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers coming out and being verbally against Putin in the way that he ran Russia, and his policies. And he had to take time away from the team because, for one reason or another, some say that he feared for his life for a little while because of the way that he knew the backlash was going to be. I don't think I think it's in the best interest for the players to kind of take a step back. I think Ovechkin handled it very, very well by saying, I just need a little bit more time before, I make any comment, because I do have family over there that's currently in Russia. But yeah, I think it's a really unfortunate situation. I hope it plays out somewhat peacefully in the very, very near future. I know that's tough to ask, especially with what's already happened. But yeah, I feel like Ovechkin's handled it well. I do think that there hasn't really been a lot of other comments from other Russian-born players that I know of. I know Dominik Hasek came out today and said every single Russian-born or Russian athlete in the NHL needs to have their contract suspended right now. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't necessarily think that's going to solve any problems. But everyone's got a very passionate opinion, because people are losing their lives overseas for what we feel isn't really a great reason. But I think that most of the people have handled it relatively well that are in the situation. It's a very interesting time in sports right now, because there are so many Russian athletes. in all professional leagues. So yeah, I think it's unfortunate, but I think people are handling it the best they can right now as far as answers go.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the fence about, asking him about that particularly. Obviously, he's one of the biggest superstars in the NHL, and he happens to be Russian. And just because he's Russian, he's being asked this question. And the thing is that his family's over there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't want to think morbidly when it comes to stuff like this and topics like this, but if he had to come out and said something against Putin, or because he didn't flat out come out and say, I don't like what's going on. He just said he just wants there to be peace and doesn't want there to be war. But if he had come out and said something, what happens to his family, to his parents, to his kids? And that's one reason why I was kind of a little bit frustrated with reporters and them asking, what do you think about this topic? I mean, what is he supposed to say? Is he supposed to say, oh no, I love the fact that this thing is going on and people are losing their lives over? I mean, what's he supposed to say? I just didn't understand why they would even bother asking him that question, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a touchy subject, but yeah, I think everyone's just trying. Reporters, and a lot of it probably trickles down from the higher ups. That is the essentially biggest topic in the world, and so people they want to know about the opinions of those who have ties to Russia. But yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. But we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully there won't be any more violence or anything. It's just really unfortunate. But I will say, going back to the game, pretty entertaining first period. Really, I don't know how you feel about this, but I've never looked at hockey and thought country music. But it seems that the NHL is so hard pressed to get every single country music star to be a part of some presentation all the time. I'm curious to hear your opinion on who you would have playing at the intermission of a Winter Classic of your choosing. Who would be the band or the artist that you would have up there?
Jokingly, Nickelback. But in reality,
I'd love it.
But no, I posted this on our podcast Twitter from the game on Thursday. But I was blasting Nickelback before the game started. And I was just like, don't judge me. I don't care. But I'm all about Nickelback. I love Nickelback. But anyways, I could see somebody like, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen her, but Carrie Underwood would make a lot of sense in this. And I know she's country music, but she just makes a lot of sense considering she married Mike Fisher and was a very outspoken figure in the Nashville community when Mike Fisher was the captain here. But I don't know, maybe because the NHL doesn't really go out and get the big stars, if that makes any sense, right?
Well, so they got Machine Gun Kelly for the All-Star game, and that was a complete joke. So
I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch it.
He reminds me. You've seen Men in Black, right?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the worms that are addicted to coffee?
Yes.
That's what he reminds me of. He looks like one of those worms, and he just goes around going "Wanga." But I agree with you. I think the NHL does a very terrible job at marketing themselves. And so getting those big names is not really their forte. Jacob Eichel loves THPN, said Polo G, King, Vaughn, and Lil Baby. I do not know who Polo G, King, Vaughn is. I do know who Lil Baby is. And apparently there's also a Da Baby. There's a rival baby. There's a Lil and a Da. But I'd go Foo Fighters. I mean,
I love Foo Fighters.
I
I'd be
think
totally down for that.
yeah. I just remember one of the Winter Classics or one of the Stadium Series games had Green Day, and I was like, this is awesome. You know, I'm a '90s kid, so I loved it. Like I was all about Green Day up there, just going nuts. And then whenever they announced the Winter Classic in Dallas, I was like, who are they going to get? And we were bombarded with Dan and Shay, and some other, I don't even remember. It was awful. But yeah, I think the country music vibe is taking over the NHL. I know a lot of the players like country music, and you know, kudos to having an opinion, but I just feel like hockey's always been so synonymous with rock music and metal. Like they've got to go back and try to get to that. And I feel like the Foo Fighters are not too aggressive that it's going to turn people off, but are probably one of the top rock bands in the world right now. And I think it just makes sense to have them come out and go nuts.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of which, I know they went with the Winter Classic in Dallas. I know they went all, you know, I don't know, Western style with everything, which is fine. I get it, but I mean, I think you and I are both in agreement with this. But when we say that, I really wanted to actually see way more rock music, and just I mean anything. I mean, but we just saw everything except that, and unfortunately, just it sucks. And I would have liked to see Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters would have been good. You know, maybe even All American Rejects. That's kind of a in the same wagon. I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Well, we're really lucky here in Dallas as Stars fans because we have our, to my knowledge, the only goal song specifically written for the team with Pantera's "Puck Off," and so for me, it's always been synonymous. In the chat, someone said Blink-182. Absolutely, 100%.
Yep,
Would absolutely love to see that.
Agreed.
I just feel like you know, growing up playing NHL, NHL 2003 is my favorite one. The soundtrack had like Papa Roach, Default. I know when NHL Hits came out, they had Limp Bizkit, Disturbed. Like these are the kinds of bands that I want to see playing at these games. That's the kind of music that I think when I'm watching hockey.
And you know, just because I got to bring it up, what did you think of the Super Bowl halftime show for the NFL?
I loved
like,
it.
Why can't the NHL do something like that?
They just don't know. They just don't know how to talk to their fans. As long as I've always been by the mindset, as long as Gary Bettman is the commissioner of the NHL, the league will suffer. I don't think he knows what's best for the sport. I don't think he knows what's best for the fans. All he knows what's best is for the owners because he's basically a talking piece for the owners. So they essentially have him as a ventriloquist, like the little puppet. Yeah, I just don't see him doing anything for the sport, but that's my opinion on him. I've never liked him. He reminds me of a modern day Hobbit. I always imagine Gary Bettman has like a really tall chair and he just dangles his feet like a little toddler. That's just how I equate Gary Bettman in any form that I'm thinking.
Well, he gets he gets so much crap from all NHL fans across the board, and really, like you said, he really is just he really is the speaker for the owners. So if there's really anybody that you need to be like hacked off at, it's the owners, and
Yeah.
in my opinion. But I agree with you. As long as he's the commissioner, these little things like this, where they could do better marketing their superstars, or you know, maybe better listening to their fans, until they get rid of him, that's probably not going to happen, unfortunately.
I agree.
Connor said great, and he's talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. I thought it was fantastic. They went a completely different direction than they have in the past couple of years, and honestly, that was one of the best ones I've watched since Prince. I mean, The Weeknd was The Weeknd. You're not at the same level as some of these other guys. It was okay, but it wasn't great. Oh goodness, the Black Eyed Peas. The Black Eyed Peas were terrible. I didn't like it.
I don't even remember them. I can't even tell you what Super Bowl they did.
And then you've also got oh goodness, who else has done it?
I know Justin Timberlake did it again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, like those are all people that a lot of people that are watching the Super Bowl now grew up watching and listening to, and it was just perfect. Like they really honed in on a target audience that they knew would watch it, but yeah, people loved it. It was pure entertainment. And I really wish the NHL would adopt, that style. But, as the intermission's going on right now and Biz Nasty and all these guys are talking, Wayne Gretzky, I'm sure they're playing some yeehaw country music. And Nashville is probably eating it alive.
Yep, they've got Dierks Bentley, and I do know who Dierks Bentley is, but I don't know who this chick is up here. And I feel like I probably should know, but I don't. But either way, they're definitely bringing out the country music for this Stadium Series game. So, Jacob Eichel loves THPN. He says over effing hyped. Probably talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. Don't agree with you there, man. I think it was okay. Well, maybe it was overhyped, but it was still really good, and that's just how I feel about that. The Soda Pod, good game so far. Yep. And we've kind of both talked about that, how the game's been. It's been a very, very good, solid game from both teams. It's not like one team has shown up and the other team hasn't. So, so far, so good. I
think Ryan froze a little bit, so I'm gonna just ramble for a moment. But yeah, the game's been really fun so far. Super physical. Really fun to see these teams kind of trading blows back and forth. Obviously, kind of want a little bit more scoring if you're not a fan of the Predators or the Lightning, just because entertaining hockey is high scoring. Unless you're a defensive nut, and then that's the way that you roll. But yeah, 1-0 so far after the first period in favor of Nashville. They have been playing pretty aggressive so far. If you're just joining the stream, my name's Fink, host of Wada Hockey here at the Hockey Podcast Network. Joined by Ryan, who's having some technical difficulties right now. I think he offended Jacob Eichel. Loves THPN by saying that he enjoyed the halftime show. So Jacob must have hacked Ryan's Wi-Fi and taken him down. But in the meantime, let me know in the chat how you guys feel about the game so far. If anything's kind of stood out and impressed you, or what hasn't impressed you. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. We do watch-alongs every day of the week. Jacob, Ryan was offended that you said over effing hyped about the Super Bowl halftime show, and he left. Or you hacked his his Wi-Fi where he's at and booted him off his own watch. Let's see what's going on around the league. Yeah, Jacob is officially taking over the chat and the watch party or the watch along. As it stands right now, Canadians are up on the Senators 2-1, and the Maple Leafs, man, they are making a push for the playoffs once again, up 6-2 on the Detroit Red Wings. Which, don't get me wrong, Detroit Red Wings aren't a bad team, but it's not exactly a team to call home about. No offense to any Red Wings fans in the chat. Maple Leafs are more than likely going to peter out in the first round, like they always do. if you guys watched the series on Amazon Prime about the Maple Leafs season last year, it was extremely interesting to know what was going to be happening at the end of that season with the first round exit once again. But I don't know. The Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews, I mean, it's like they do this every season, right? I feel like I'm talking to my people now, fellow hockey fans, where Maple Leafs just cannot figure it out. They have been struggling ever since they gave up that lead against the Boston Bruins, and the Boston Bruins went on to lose in the Stanley Cup Finals, but it's insane. But as we finish talking about the Maple Leafs and their imminent disappointment, obviously comment in the chat with any questions you have. We're about to get the second period underway. If you're just joining us now, again, the score is Nashville 1, Tampa Bay 0. Nashville leads Tampa Bay leads shots on goal 12-11. And Tampa Bay is on the front end of a power play committed with 10 seconds left in the first period. So we are now jumping over into the second period. Interesting to see how Tampa Bay comes out, and Saros is just playing like a man possessed so far, stopping everything that Tampa Bay has been throwing at him. Stamkos with a one-timer just couldn't get it past Saros again. Saros just looks like he had him read like a book from the start. Yeah, Jacob, thank you. Thank you for booting Russia. We need you. Braden Point, power play goal. We have got a tie game, 1-1. Saros finally cracks a little bit under pressure on that power play. Tampa Bay just doing what Tampa Bay does. You cannot get this team down. You cannot count them out at any time. There is a reason that they are the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, much to my dismay as a Stars fan. For those that are in the chat that might have just been joining, I am Fink. I am the host of Wada Hockey here at the Hockey Podcast Network. I am a Texas-based hockey podcast, along with Ryan when he defeats Russia for hacking his Wi-Fi. Jacob Eichel, time for Ukraine to take over. I mean, my guys over here just doing the Lord's work, trying to get that Wi-Fi back running for Ryan. But yeah, now we've got a tie game. You wanted some interesting hockey. Now you've got it. The physicality has been turned up to 10 already, the entire game. Really fun game to watch so far. The setup looks phenomenal. I really like what they did with the stadium there. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking of this game, or if you're watching the other games. We've got Ottawa against Montreal. We've also got the Maple Leafs against the Red Wings.
Looks like Russia hacked my internet, guys.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Jacob Eichel came in and saved the day for you.
Oh, I love the internet, but at the same time, I gotta hate it too. But
well,
anyway.
in the time that you were gone, we got a power play goal from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Braden Point tied it up 1-1. And I was just commenting on the fact that Tampa Bay Lightning are two-time back-to-back, Stanley Cup champions for a reason. Just when you think you have them down, they come back and they absolutely dominate. So this is a very different looking Tampa Bay team so far. I think the first period was about physicality and really trying to get Tampa Bay on the boards. But it looks like Tampa Bay has now settled the game a little bit and tied it up with 17 minutes left in the second period.
Yeah, and it looks like that Tampa Bay has come out here early in the game in the second period and kind of have really upped the ante in this game. So we'll see how the second period goes especially with Tampa Bay pushing back. And I mean, if you're Nashville, you got to think you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose two outdoor games back to back, and especially this one in your home barn, quote unquote. So So we'll see. But right now it looks like Nashville has got it in the offensive zone for them, in Tampa's zone, kind of cycling it around, taking a couple shots, but really not much. It's most of the stuff is from the outside, and Tampa is able to get it out, and it goes right back in. And it looks like, yep, Tampa. All right, Tampa's got it out of their own zone, taking it the opposite way. Kind of looks like that maybe Nashville's starting to push back a little bit here in the beginning of the second period, especially after giving up that early goal.
Yeah, again, Yossi with that shot on Vasilevsky just now. It's super interesting to see what happens with him. Like we were talking about in the first period, the stories coming out of Nashville basically saying that they're possibly shopping him was just really out of left field. I did not see that being a situation that team would be putting themselves in, but here we are. Really, really interesting to see if they can trade him for anyone. I mean, obviously he's someone that any team that would want. But he is a bit of a cap hit going into the last part of his contract on his last year. And yeah, so I mean, you're essentially just getting a rental for him unless he resigns. But again, I think he's making around $6 million a year. He's probably going to want that, if not maybe just a touch less. But we'll see.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this before you came on, actually, Fink. But the fact that this team has kind of overperformed this year a little bit, and the fact that, and we also mentioned, the fact that they traded off Ryan Ellis, they traded off Victor Arvidsson to the Kings, and thinking they were probably going to be, they were going to probably be down in the standings, and that hasn't been the case this season. And yes, I know they haven't been playing as well, and I know they're in a wild card position instead of a top 3 spot in the Central Division. But they're still playing well enough to make the playoffs, and it almost seems like Nashville just, at least the Nashville admin, just doesn't care. It almost seems like they're kind of shopping their players around because, I mean, Roman Jossi's name is not the only one I've heard that might be on the trade block for these guys. I've also heard some rumors about possibly Ryan Johansson, and I just don't get it. But and there's Mikhail Granlund, and we talked about him a little bit at the beginning of the stream. But it's his 30th birthday today. Very cool, and he gets to play in an outdoors game. So neat for him. Happy birthday, Granlund. But he is a very solid.
Another dust up again. Man, these teams do not like each other, and I am all for it.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
More dust ups mean more drama. More drama means more fun for the game. And it looks like it's Johansson and well, that didn't last long.
Nope. Yeah, Johansson's been active this game, throwing the body around, getting into some dust ups. You'd love to see it.
Speaking of Ryan Johansson, do you think he's been an underperformer for the Nashville Predators since he got traded from Columbus? Or do you think that this is where they kind of expected him to be?
I think this is where they expected him to be. I think you brought him in, and he's just been a big body, and he's done what he's been asked to do, and I think you got what you paid for. As Jeannot and Maroon now chirp back and forth before this face off.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Looks like we'll there's a lot of chatter going on between these two teams right now, and I would not be surprised if we see another fight here in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Maroon obviously continuing to chirp as well.
Yep. But before we get to this next part, I do have to say I'm probably going to hop off here pretty soon. But it's been a lot of fun. Nashville's penalty box is getting mighty full.
Looks like a high sicking penalty.
Yeah. But Ryan, thank you so much for having me on and chatting some hockey during the Stadium Series. And for all those in the chat, check out Wada Hockey at Wada Hockey on Instagram and Twitter and wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever your podcasts are sold. Follow me up on Twitter at Laces Out Finkel. Yes, like the Ace Ventura movie. Yeah, I guess thanks again, Ryan, for having me, and we'll definitely be talking again soon.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you for coming on, Fink, and just gracing us with your presence.
And everyone in the chat, enjoy the rest of the game because this is going to be a physical one. But I will talk to you guys again soon.
Yep. See you later, Fink. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, and that was Jeffrey Fink. Once again, he does the Wada Hockey Podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network. And once again, guys, my name is Ryan. I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, and I do the Starcastic Remarks podcast, which follows the Dallas Stars and everything Dallas Stars related. And it's just funny that I'm the one that gets drafted to do this watch along with you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys go and use the promo code THBN when you go and use the DraftKings app. They're our sponsor for our whole network, and they allow us to do the things that we do here. You know, these watch alongs, all the episodes that all of us put out. There's about 3 or 4 every single day. So show them some love and go support them. We'd really appreciate that. But anyways, getting back into this game. This game is currently 1-1. It is the second period. There's about a little over 14 minutes left, and Tampa Bay has a power play. However, it doesn't look like they're getting much done here on their second opportunity of the game here tonight. And just in general, guys, the game has been very physical from what we've seen. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this game so far. If there's anything particular that stood out to you guys. It could literally be anything hockey related, not hockey related. We'll give you guys a shout out and take a look. And it looks like, as I said, that Tampa Bay was getting nothing done with their power play. It looks like Kucherov is going to put the Tampa Bay Lightning up by a goal. It is currently 2-1, thanks to Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it looked like it was just a simple carry-in play here. Went up to the point. Looks like it's Victor Hedman there. And it's literally just a shot from the circle, and it goes in. And looks like there was a little bit of a screen there by Killorn. And, you know, if you're the Nashville Predators, this is exactly the way you didn't want the second period going after being up 1-0 going into the first intermission. So... But anyways, once again, Tampa Bay is up 2-1 here. And we'll see how Nashville responds to this little bit of adversity here. And, you know, Nashville deserved to get this outdoor game because they've been dying for one for the past couple of years. And they finally get it with this Stadium Series game here against the Lightning. Although, if you were me, I wouldn't want to be, I would not want to be a member of the Nashville Predators right now and expect to go against the Tampa Bay Lightning in an outdoor game like this and win. As it appears that Forsberg takes a shot, but and there's a lot of kerfuffle going along here to Saros's right, and these teams are showing more and more and more that they are not liking each other. Looks like Cirelli is getting into it with number 47 of the Nashville Predators. I'm not quite sure who that is, but he's obviously irate. Man, these teams don't like each other. We will see how all of this kind of unfolds and see what penalties kind of come out of this. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down here below about what you think about this Stadium Series game here so far. Couple of things here. Let's just look at the scoreboard for here tonight so far. Couple of final scores here for y'all tonight, and we got some other watch-alongs going along as well. So if you'd like to go check those out, we encourage y'all to do those here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. The Rangers lose to the Penguins tonight by a final score of 1-0. The Rangers having a fantastic year so far this year, and unfortunately, none of the offense is there for really either team here tonight for those. The Flyers do take the win against the Capitals here tonight. It's a 2-1 win for the Flyers in a really rough season for the Flyers, and the Capitals seem to be kind of trailing off. I know that the parity between the league and the Eastern Conference right now is not very good, because it just seems like the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference are kind of beating up on everybody else. But just to give you guys, here's what I'm talking about here is that, like, you got Florida with 75 points, Tampa with 72, Toronto with 70, Carolina with 76, Pittsburgh with 72, New York Rangers with 71. And then you've got the 2 wild card spots here, who are Washington and Boston. And both of those teams they're 9 points and 10 points above the next closest team for the wild card spot. So you've got Boston with 64, and then Columbus has 55. So it already appears to me that the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference are kind of already decided here. And we'll see how that goes. If maybe Columbus and Detroit can catch Boston and Washington. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be able to, but we will see. And then, unlike in the Western Conference, where the Western Conference is much more competitive, the Stars are 2 points out of a wild card spot to Edmonton. Edmonton's got 61. The Stars have 59. Anaheim's right there too with 59. Vancouver's right there. We talked about them at the beginning of the stream here. They've got it with 56. And it just seems like there's a little bit more parity in the Western Conference than there is in the Eastern Conference. But as we're getting back to the game here, guys, after all that kerfuffle in the corner to Saros's right, or to Vasilevsky's right, excuse me, it looks like Nashville has a power play going in here, and they're going to see if they can take advantage. This would be the perfect time for them to respond as Vasilevsky makes a glove save. Not really much there on that shot, but it appears that Nashville is going to be looking for a response here. And the shot was from Forsberg, who we talked about up at the top of the stream, that Forsberg may be looking on his way out, along with Roman Josi, which doesn't make any sense to me as a Stars fan, because, I mean, the Nashville Predators are good enough to make the playoffs this season, and they're looking at shopping both Josi and Forsberg. I don't know. But let's get to a couple of comments from you guys. CT Gaming Shorts saying, I'm at the game in the line for pizza. Let me know how the line is out there, CT, because I went to the Winter Classic game for the Stars in Dallas back in 2021, and I think it took me the entire first intermission just to get a bag of peanuts and a soda. So let me know once you get back to the game, but we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it doesn't take you too long so you can get back to the game. But anyway, CT, thank you for listening along and following along with the stream here. And he also says, go Preds. So we've had a little bit of Preds fans in here, and also a little bit of Tampa Bay fans in here. But we had a couple of earlier predictions from some of y'all here in the chat. And my prediction for this game actually was 6-3. So I was expecting a high-scoring game. It looks like that's not going to be the case, as we're just about halfway through this game. And it looks like Nashville is in Tampa Bay zone. They're getting some interior positioning on here, but not really much to report here as this power play for Nashville is starting to close up with about 7 seconds remaining, and it gets thrown down into the zone. and Saros is going to pick it up, and that's going to do it for the Nashville power play, and they're not able to take advantage of their opportunity here in the second period. So once again, this is the Stadium Series Watch Along here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and then comment and let me know any thoughts that you have of anything going on in the hockey world. And once again, the score right now is 2-1, and it's Tampa Bay over the Nashville Predators right now, as Tampa Bay gets a close one there, and just a little bit of traffic in front of the net there. Kind of would have been more of a greasy goal than a pretty goal. But yet again, Tampa Bay, showing the resolve here in the second period. They've really come out here in the second period and really taken over this game. So we will see how this goes from here on out. As far as possession, though, it's been kind of equal, if you ask me. I've noticed more, especially here in the second period, that Tampa Bay has taken care of the puck better than Nashville has, but it's not like Nashville hasn't had their chances like Tampa Bay's had their chances. It just appears here in the second period that Tampa has taken advantage of those opportunities, especially here on the power play. And once again, Tampa is starting to press down in the offensive zone. Now it appears, I don't know if, okay, that might not have been interference because the puck was right there, but one of the things that I find frustrating about the NHL refereeing is that it's just so inconsistent. And just as a Stars fan, there have been a couple of instances this year where I've been really frustrated with, and especially pick plays. Oh, it looks like there's a 2-on-1 here for Tampa Bay, but looks like it comes to nothing, as not quite sure what was going on there, whether it was an offside or it's a penalty against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But it almost looked like it was going to be a 2-on-1 here, and it wasn't the case. So anyway, Tampa Bay here in the second period, guys. Like I said earlier, they've got 2 goals. One from Nikita Kucherov with the power play goal, and they've also got a goal from Braden Point. He got his 20th of the season. So really, what it is for the Tampa Bay Lightning right now is they're not getting much 5-on-5. But they are taking care of the puck in the 5-on-4 play for them. They've killed off all the penalties that they've taken, and then they've also taken advantage of their opportunities here on the power play. So anyways, guys, once again, my name is Ryan. I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, and we are a show that follows the Dallas Stars, and we comment on the Dallas Stars. A lot of the time, it's mostly just me ranting and complaining about something that they could be doing better. But either way, make sure you guys leave comments down on the comment box below. Let me know what you guys think of this game or anything about what's going on in the hockey world, and we'll talk about that here for a little bit. And also make sure that you like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel here. We do watch-alongs every single day of all the teams. And this is a really big game here. So, especially for the Nashville Predators, with it being in their city. So we'll see if they can maybe get back in this game here. And it's 2-1 Tampa Bay. So, as I'm watching some of the commercials for this broadcast here on TNT, and what I'm thinking about is the broadcast for TNT and ESPN this year. And from the broadcast that I've seen, I've actually really liked ESPN's broadcast. The one person I can't stand, and I'm sorry, is Leah Hackstall. I mean, I know she's really trying, and she's a good broadcaster. I just can't stand her for some reason. It's nothing against her. I just can't stand her. But and then on the flip side with TNT, I love what they do. It's much more, I guess you could say it's much more relaxed, and they're not afraid to pull out the storylines from the NHL, even if it's kind of like a negative kind of like a negative storyline, because I know they talked about before the game started, as I was watching the pregame show, they talked about the whole Ukrainian situation and Russia invading Ukraine, and they talked about Alexander Ovechkin's comments that he made a couple days after that the invasion happened, and they're not willing to they're not shying away from those kind of storylines here. So I do think that that's fantastic that they do that, and they're doing a fantastic job with all of that stuff. But as we get here, we're about 8 minutes into the second period here, guys. It is currently once again 2-1, and Tampa Bay has definitely come out in this game and has definitely taken the reins in this game. Andre Vasilevsky showing some of his stats from the 2021 playoffs: 16-7, 1.9 goals against average, and a 927 save percentage. That's just insane. And I mean, just like Wayne Gretzky said here at I believe it was in the first intermission, he is the best goaltender in the world until he gets beat in the playoffs. So we'll see what that ends up for Vasilevsky. And I talked about this with Fink a little bit earlier in this stream, guys, but I think that Vasilevsky really, really got shafted last year. He should have been the Vezina trophy winner, because he was the best goaltender in the NHL. I really think what it was, it was part of it that Fleury didn't have a Vezina trophy in his resume yet, and that was probably his last chance to get one. So it's great that he got it, but I still think that throughout the season that Andre Vasilevsky was the better goaltender for the NHL, and he deserved to win that trophy. So, but anyways, guys, getting back into the game here, Nashville is dumping it into the zone. Big hit here in the corner, and it just continues to be just a steady of transition hockey for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's amazing how quickly they can get out of their own zone with their transition game, and it's kind of going back and forth here. And Nashville looks like they're going to get an opportunity, and nope, nothing comes out of it. Very bouncing puck. I mean, it makes me think about the ice conditions here a little bit in this game. And if it's just as bad as it was for the Lake Tahoe games during the pandemic when the NHL had those games the past season when they had a shortened season. Big chance for Tampa Bay there, but missed the net. Good save by Saros once again. I mean, Saros really is keeping them in this game. And, Tampa is really pushing, and Nashville just doesn't seem to have an answer for them defensively right now. They do, however, have control of the puck, but it just looks like they're just kind of like throwing their problem along. They're just kind of passing it along and hoping that something happens rather than, transitioning. And it's right back into the defensive zone for Nashville, and Sergachev with a shot, but it goes out of play. So, and once again, it is 2-1 Tampa Bay over Nashville. If you're just tuning in with us, thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure you hit like and subscribe. We do these watch-alongs for all of the games across the season, and I know you guys don't want to miss any of those. Once again, I am Ryan. I'm the host of Starcastic Remarks. We follow the Dallas Stars, and we cover the Dallas Stars, and you can find us anywhere. Sorry, guys, I'm getting distracted by the game here. But you can follow us anywhere the social media happens. We've got Instagram, Twitter. Just search us up. Starcastic R is our Twitter handle. We have our Starcastic Remarks podcast as well. Make sure you guys go and follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. And looks like they're going to be taking a break with 5 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in the second period. So let's take a look at some of the stats for this game while I'm thinking about it, because if I had to guess, no, not really. Okay. So the giveaways in this game are only 9-6, and it appears that that Tampa Bay has given up the puck more than Nashville has, which seems surprising to me considering that Nashville is really, really getting pressed in their own zone right now. But just to throw some stats at you guys right now, as of 5:53 in the second period remaining, face-off percentage 53-46 in favor of Nashville. So Nashville is dominating the stats here right now. And then on top of the face-off percentage, power play has been a big story in today's game. So currently, the Nashville Predators are 1 for 2 on their power play, and then obviously the 2 goals from Tampa Bay here in this game, they're 2 for 3 on their power play with goals from Braden Point, and then also a goal from Mr. Nikita Kucherov. So the big guys for Tampa Bay are taking care of business here tonight. So let me go ahead and pull up these stats for you guys while I'm thinking about it as well, so y'all can see it while we're watching the game here. Pull these up. And we're on here. And we're back here in the second period. Looks like Braden Point had a opportunity for it to go in, and he just kind of went wide. And he's not the only player that has had options in this game tonight. So, yep. It just continues to be a barrage from Tampa Bay. They're just keeping it in the offensive zone. And of course, Patrick Maroon, the fake big rig. He's not the real big rig. Jamie Oleksiak is. I have to be biased in that. But he's causing some issues in front of Saros there. So we'll see if Patrick Maroon is going to get more into this game physically and maybe be more of a pest. Belmar actually was a good addition to the Tampa Bay Lightning roster. I really liked him when he was a member of the Philadelphia Flyers, and thought he was a fantastic player. He's a big time pest, and I think he's just absolutely fantastic for this Tampa Bay Lightning team. City Life. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some comments here, guys. The City Life Project saying, I think the Preds can still take this one. I'm not so sure with the way that Nashville's playing right now. And I don't even know if it's necessarily Nashville not playing well or if it's just Tampa Bay just being Tampa Bay. And, a lot of people are kind of hitting on Tampa Bay right now considering, they're not first in their division right now. Well, actually, they might be first in their division. No, that's I think that's Florida, actually. Yeah, Florida is first in their division. But, obviously they showed it last year. They were third in the Atlantic Division last year, and they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final and won the dang thing. So, seriously, I don't think it really matters for Tampa Bay, where they end up in the standings, just as long as they're in the playoffs. I mean, no matter what team you are, you don't want to face the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round of the playoffs, especially with the way they've been playing and the fact that they're the two-time Stanley Cup defending champions. So, and, speaking of Patrick Maroon, they're showing a little montage of him right now, considering he's won 3 Stanley Cups in a row with 2 different teams. Obviously, one back in 2019 with the St. Louis Blues, and the past 2 years with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it would be really interesting to see how many players have won 4 cups in a row, on separate teams like this. I know that there are a lot of teams that have done it. Edmonton won several cups in a row. Montreal did it way back when. Obviously, the 1980 New York Islanders also did it. But I would be really interested to see the statistic of, what players have won multiple cups with different teams over like a 3 or 4 year period. That'd be really interesting to hear. But anyways, guys, as I'm sitting here talking about just random things, Nashville is still getting pinned in their own zone, and Tampa Bay is really, 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 really pushing. So not much has changed since we kind of left the game for a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a couple more comments here. City Life Project is rooting for the Preds. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I think I hate the Predators more than I do the Lightning, but to each their own. I have reasons to hate both teams, but I just hate Nashville more just because we play them more. And when I think about Nashville, I don't know if they really have like a number one, rival. I would consider for the Stars that their biggest rival is the Nashville Predators, just because we've met them in the playoffs several times. They've beaten us, we've beaten them over the past couple of years, but I don't really know if Nashville has a big rival. But anyways, City Life Project rooting for the Preds. Soda Pod saying, cheers, Ryan. Yep. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Isha. Beer Sports, whatever podcast. Ryan, thank you. I like your stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And love the support from you there. Jacob Eichel of THBN. Hold up was at loveface.xyz a bot. I assumed he was. I blocked him almost as soon as I saw it, so I just assumed it was a bot. Sorry if it wasn't. City Life Project. Saros is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Yeah, he is playing out of his mind right now, and I think he's one of the only reasons why the Nashville Predators are actually still in this game right now. But I got to give a huge shout out to the small goalies in this league. As a Dallas Stars fan, especially the past couple of years with Anton Hudobin. I don't know. I guess I was going Nikolai Habibou in there. I don't know. But Anton Hudobin was fantastic for us in the 2020 bubble playoffs. Obviously, he's not with the Dallas Stars team right now. He's with the Texas Stars in the AHL because he just hasn't played as well. And Jake Ottinger, the young Dallas Stars goaltender, has kind of outplayed him. But he was fantastic for us as a small goaltender. I believe he's 5'11" on a good day. Oh, almost a wraparound chance there, and almost a third goal for Corey Perry, almost. But nonetheless, Corey Perry does draw a call for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Tampa Bay is going to go back on the power play, and Tampa is going to look to see if they can get their third power play goal of the second period. And it looks like it's going to be Myers, formerly of the Philadelphia Flyers, who is going to be going to the box. I'm guessing for tripping. I haven't seen the actual call, and I'm just watching the stream. I'm not actually, I'm not listening to the stream. But maybe it is Myers. It is Myers. It is Myers. Regardless of what the call is, it's a penalty. Tampa Bay is getting their third power play, and we'll see what they can do. And if you're Nashville, this is a definite must kill off going into the second intermission, because you don't want to be down by 2 goals to the defending Stanley Cup champions. Well, it looks like there's a 2-on-1 rush the other way. Shot by Nashville, and nothing comes out of it. But it was a really good defensive play by Steven Stamkos to get it back there and make sure that nothing happened out of that 2-on-1. It kind of turned into a 2-on-2 after that. Kucherov takes the blue line into the Nashville zone, puts it deep. Looks like it's going to be Sergachev up at the left point and Hedman up at the right. No, it's Stamkos, at the left point. Down on the right corner right now. And again, if you're Nashville, you really don't want to give up a goal right now. Hedman with the puck up at the top. Shot by, a slash there at the end after taking a shot. Looks like Nikita Kucherov was not happy with whatever happened out of that. And I don't know if it was a chirp or if he was just mad that he blocked the shot or whatnot. But nonetheless, it's a defensive zone face-off here for the Nashville Predators. And we're looking here in the second period, guys. There are 30 seconds left. Shots on goal right now are 24-16 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that kind of tells you the story of the game right now. It was 11 apiece going into the first intermission, and Tampa has definitely taken over this game. And it appears like Nashville wins the faceoff, and it looks like there's going to be one more possible rush for the Tampa Bay Lightning before the end of the second period. And I don't know, 5 seconds remaining. Doesn't look like they're going to get much out of it. Oh, Stamkos with a shot and a great save by Saros there to close the second intermission. And, taking a look at this game so far, story in the second period was definitely foremost the Tampa Bay Lightning taking advantage of their opportunities in the second period. And really, it's Saros, saving the game for Nashville right now. And, I mean, if you're Nashville, you want to put up a little bit more of the fight going into the third period, considering this is in front of your home crowd. And you really don't want to blow another outdoor game to another team, especially when it's in your city. So we will see what kind of response we get from Nashville in the third period. But right now, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break and get a message from DraftKings. Once again, my name is Ryan. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Hockey Podcast Network Watch Along here. I am the host of the Starcastic Remarks podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. And we will be right back with you guys here in just a little second after a message from DraftKings. We'll be right back.
All right, team, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs.
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision.
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring. 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. My name is Ryan, and I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, and we are doing a watch along of the Stadium Series game, the Nashville Predators versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. And here, guys, so far, some takeaways coming out of this second period, and we kind of mentioned this just before the short little break there, but Tampa Bay has completely taken over this game. And thankfully, most of it for them has been, and they can thank the special teams for it. And that's been the biggest difference in the game here tonight. So far, they've gotten 2 goals here in the game. Tampa Bay Lightning did. One of them was actually from Nikita Kucherov, and the other being from Braden Point. Both on the power play. And these are both after Nashville actually took a 1-0 lead going into the first intermission with a goal from Tanner Jeannot. Now, throughout this game, guys, there has been a lot of nastiness, like a lot of nastiness between these two teams. These two teams definitely do not like one another. There have been several penalties going each way for both teams just because of extra kerfuffle or scrums or whatever after play had stopped. There was a very questionable hit, we should also mention, on Eric Chernak by Ryan Johansson. So Ryan Johansson very early in the game, and it looked like it was going to be another Tanner Caro, a Corey Perry incident where Corey Perry actually got sent off early in the 2021 Winter Classic. So it almost looked like that was going to happen again. But thankfully, that was not the case. So, Eric Chernak was actually okay. And Ryan Johansson was not sent off. He was actually given a match penalty. And some people were kind of questioning why was he given a match penalty for that hit? Well, what you can do with a match penalty is you can assess a match penalty, which is a 5-minute major, and then you can actually, as a referee, go and review the play to see, okay, was it actually a head, a elbow to the head contact? Was there some sort of head contact there? And they actually found out, at least according to them, that the hit was not as bad as originally thought. So the penalty was actually reduced from a 5-minute major to a 2-minute minor. And, thankfully for the Preds, the Tampa Bay Lightning did not take advantage of that particular power play opportunity. But very early in this game, guys, 40 minutes gone. That's really been the story of the game. UC Saros has been very good, and Tampa Bay has really just kind of taken over this game. And in that second period, with those 2 goals on the power play, the Tampa Bay Lightning have taken the advantage going into the second intermission. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this game here tonight, and let me know what you think about anything that's been going on tonight. They're kind of showing the fight report tonight. Patrick Maroon had 6 fights this year. Matt McCarron had 5 fights this year. Belmar had his first fight this year tonight, and so did Ryan Johansson. So there just been a lot of fights here in the game tonight, which is fairly surprising, but also not surprising considering these two teams really don't like each other, and this is a really big high stakes game. So, but anyways, let's take a couple of comments here as well. I've kind of slightly ignored them over the past couple of minutes here. Jacob Eichel loves THPN. I'm making an egg sandwich, so I'll be lurking. Egg sandwich. Can't say I've ever tried one. I'm big about omelets, not so much about egg sandwiches, but for me, it's also got to be scrambled. I'm more about scrambled eggs than I am about fried eggs. But anyways, enough about eggs. That's kind of boring. Catfish on Ice podcast. Catfish on Ice podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. They actually cover the Nashville Predators for the Hockey Podcast Network. Hey everyone, Preds have been the most penalized team in the NHL for months now. It's both their strength and their kryptonite. And you could definitely say that looking at this game tonight that that's been their issue for this team. So hopefully that stops for the Nashville Predators and they can get some sort of momentum going here, but they still do have to finish killing off a little bit of a holdover of a penalty going into the third. So Soda Pod, nah, that's Minnesota, haha, but it's because of the refs. That's kind of how I feel about the Stars too. But we'll see. City Life Project saying thanks for joining, Catfish. Yes, thank you, Catfish, for joining the stream here tonight. Basketball Podcast Network, our sister network, which covers all the teams in the NBA. And actually, one of our buddies from the Hockey Podcast Network, Neil, actually just announced that he's doing he's actually doing a podcast for the Brooklyn Nets called Bridging the Nets. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I can't remember the name of it. I'll look it up later. I'm sorry, Neil. But you go and check out the Basketball Podcast Network as well, guys, for any kind of content regarding your favorite NBA team as well. Jacob Eichel loves THPN saying, Isha, what's up? Isha, thank you for tuning in once again to this. Jacob also saying, can you post a link of your channel, please, at at the Basketball Podcast Network. Go ahead and do it. And I'm sure a lot of people would love to follow you guys on YouTube and also wherever you can get your podcasts as well. So, City Life Project saying, "What's up, Jacob?" Yep, Jacob, we're loving you. Thank you for commenting and spending all the time with us here tonight. And City Life Project saying, "Love fights." Now, let me go ahead and get into this too, because I've actually been thinking about this a lot here tonight, and I haven't been mentioning it, but I love the fact that the NHL has fights. And I know that the NHL is going in a direction where it's more of a skilled game rather than, let me punch somebody's face out. But you gotta love fighting. It's a part of the game, and I don't want to see it go away. And I know that sometimes things can get kind of nasty and stuff like that. But fights can be a huge game changing moment in any NHL game, really, if we're being honest. There could be a team that's down 3-0 and their captain gets a fight and they end up winning the game 4-3. And what I'm saying, and the right reason why I'm saying that is because Jamie Benn, the captain for the Dallas Stars, has done that on several occasions over the past, 10 years that he's been in the NHL. And it can be a huge game-changing moment, and I would hate to see something like that leave the NHL and leave the game. So the people that are saying take fighting out of the NHL, I completely disagree with that. And that's just my 2 cents on that. I love the fact that there has been 2 fights in this game already, although one of them kind of was not so much a fight. It was kind of more of a roughing thing, but whatever. Anyways, Catfish saying, haha, their style of play leads to a lot of penalties. Everyone ends up on the wrong end of bad calls, but unfortunately, this is who they are. And, I will agree with you on that. I don't think that the Stars really take a bunch of penalties, but they can be their own kryptonite at times when they take stupid penalties and it goes the other direction and they completely change the momentum. Because it always seems like, and maybe Catfish, you can comment on this, but as a Dallas Stars fan, it always seems like that the Stars get a penalty at the absolute worst possible time. And then, of course, when that happens, their opponent scores and either ties the game or takes the lead in the game, and the Stars end up losing. And that's just me, but, whatever. Just let me know what you think, Catfish, and maybe I'm completely wrong. But anyways, going on with some more of your comments here, guys. Jacob Eichel, Isha, Vegas or overrated Avs? Let me talk about the Vegas Golden Knights here for a second, because this is something that I've had an issue with the Vegas Golden Knights over the past couple of seasons. They seem to be like very impatient, if that makes any sense. And yes, I understand they're trying to complete their goal from what they said at the very beginning of their expansion process when they drafted their team. They're going to win a cup in the first 5 years. That was their mantra when they drafted the team. They're going to win a cup in the first 5 years. And this would be the year for the Vegas Golden Knights. This would be year 5. So they would have to if they want to accomplish that goal, they would have to do it now this season. Here's my issue with this. Just because you go out and you get a bunch of superstar players, Jack Eichel, Alex Pietrangelo, Robin Leonard, I wouldn't say is a superstar, but he's a very good goaltender. Max Pacioretty, Mark Stone. Just because you go out and get those guys doesn't mean you're necessarily going to win. Because, what if those guys don't work well together? There's always that question of chemistry when it comes to any NHL team. But specifically when it comes to Vegas, I almost think they've hurt their chances. Because when they came into the NHL, they were the quote-unquote band of misfits. That was their big, identity when they were going into the Stanley Cup final their first year in existence. And yes, they fell short, but they fell short to a really good Washington Capitals team. And I really don't think that Alexander Ovechkin was going to be denied that season, his Stanley Cup. I'm glad he got it. But and now Vegas has got this this identity now of they're not loyal to their players. Because perfect example, Exhibit A, Marc-Andre Fleury. How are you going to draft a guy he's going to be the face of your franchise for 4 years, and then you're basically going to trade him for nothing. And not to mention, not just trade the face of your franchise, but the nicest guy in the entire world. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he just won the Vezina Trophy. I understand that he had a $7.5 million cap hit, but don't you think right now that they would probably want Fleury on their team, considering that Robin Lehner is hurt, and now they're relying on Laurent Brossoit to lead them into the playoffs? I don't know. And then they continue to just kind of finagle their way around the cap. And, assuming that Mark Stone gets back in time for the playoffs, before the playoffs start, I mean, what are they going to have to do? They're either going to have to do one of two things. They're either going to have to make a big trade here in the next month and really shed some salary, which I'm not sure where that's going to come from. I would assume Dadonov, because he signed a big contract and he hasn't really worked out for the Vegas Golden Knights. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm going too much into a soapbox when it comes to Vegas, but I really think they hurt their chances instead, because they had this identity and now they don't have that identity anymore because they went out and got all these superstar players and then they're not loyal to their players. But I will get off my soapbox there. And then as for the Avs, if I'm talking about the game, I'm assuming there's a game here tonight. I'm not even paying attention to the game. Okay, so there is a game tonight between the Avalanche and Vegas. It starts at 9 tonight, Central Time, so that would be 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific. I gotta take Colorado. I really think Colorado is going to go all the way this year when it comes to the Stanley Cup, and I really think that the past couple of seasons have been a real learning experience for them, considering 2 years ago they lost to the Stars, and last year I forget who they lost to, but they just continue to lose in the second round. And I really do think that Darcy Kuemper is going to be able to lead them through all 4 rounds of the playoffs, and I think he has a really good chance of doing that. And they didn't really have that goaltender with Philip Grubauer, and now they do with Darcy Kuemper, in my opinion. But the one thing with Darcy Kuemper is he's got to stay healthy. And if he doesn't stay healthy, they do have Pavel Francouz, who is a very good and capable backup goaltender. So I think that that would be fantastic for the Colorado Avalanche if they're able to take their team all the way to the finals and win the Stanley Cup, because I definitely think they have the opportunity to. All right, now I've been talking too much, so now I got to catch up on some of these comments here, guys. Let's see. I already forgot where I was comment-wise. Okay, City Life Project. I'll eat any eggs, even raw. That's disgusting. I can't eat raw eggs. We'll not do it. John saying play the game and probably a mean word. Dude, I can't do that. That's copyright law, and we would get in a lot of big trouble if we do that. But you can catch the game on TNT. TNT is doing a fantastic job with their broadcast here tonight. I'm just kind of listening to it as I'm on here with you guys doing the watch along, but they're doing a fantastic job. City Life Project saying, "Oh, Vegas 100% in a shootout." Probably commenting to Jacob. That would be a really cool thing if they were to go to a shootout. I still think Colorado's going to win the game. That's just me, guys. Okay, Jacob saying, Isha, if Vegas wins, y'all should send me a shirt. Yes, definitely should. City Life Project, John, thanks for joining. Live stats will be back up when the puck drops. Yes, I will have that up as soon as the third period starts, which it looks like we're getting closer and closer and closer as we go on, and we'll get into that as we go. City Life Project saying, heck yeah, fights, baby. Please don't get rid of them, NHL. I know they're kind of going out of style and everything, but don't don't make them illegal. That it's part of the game, and it will always be a part of the game. It just might not be as big a part of the game as it used to be. City Life Project, it's not about hurting the opponent. Those who don't understand why they are part of the game are naive to the game. And, that brings up a good point, City Life Project, considering that there's a lot of new people that are kind of coming into the NHL as fans. And what we really oh my gosh, sorry, I just looked at my phone. It is 10-7 Toronto right now. Talk about, I think I guess I did the wrong game to suggest it was going to be a huge offensive output. Holy crap. We'll have to take a look at that game sometime during the third period of this game and just take a look at some of the stats. But anyways, we should kind of, going back to the whole fighting thing, we should kind of explain to people why fighting is a part of the game. And, a lot of people, especially that are, big fans of the game, they kind of get, get negative on these new fans because they're constantly asking questions about, why is this way? Why is it this way? And why is this not called the penalty? And all of a sudden this is now. We really should, as hockey fans, not just, fans of a team or whatever, just explain it. I mean, the more people that are fans of hockey, the better. And I mean, that's what we want. So seriously, explain, if someone asks you about the whole fighting situation in the NHL, explain to them what's going on. So that's just my take on that. Welcome these new fans into the hockey community. Seriously, do it. Okay. Chad Minton, our host, has a man crush on Jamie Benn. Don't tell Preds fans. Oh, that's not a good thing. at least for Chad. Yeah. I love Jamie Benn. I know he's a pest, but he's not the same Jamie Benn that he was several years ago. But he's kind of getting on the score sheet a little bit, but kind of not. But anyways, guys, we are back here in the third period. I'm going to go ahead and pull these stats up for you guys. And like I said, it looks like Tampa is finishing off their power play. And it looks like Nashville is going to get away with it. So if you're Nashville, it's a good, decent start to the first period. I know it's only been about 40 seconds, but they take care of business and they do get out of the penalty kill. However, oh my goodness, more kerfuffle going along in the right now. Dante Fabro in there, Sorelli, Granlund. Looks like Corey Perry's in there as well a little bit. I don't know who number 7 for the Bolts are, but it looks like number 7 for the Bolts is the one who kind of started this whole thing. And it kind of all started with a really good opportunity by Anthony Sorelli there. And, UC Saros gets the pad out there to not allow Sorelli to get on the backhand. And fantastic play by UC Saros and keeps his team in the lead here. So, anyways, let me go ahead and go back into some of these comments here. Let's see. Trying to remember where I was at. No cap space in the playoffs, so Stone and Robin will be back game 1 of playoffs. Yeah, they're going to pull a Tampa Bay. They're definitely going to pull a Tampa Bay, or I guess it was a Blackhawks before, because way back when they went out and got, I believe it was Chris Versteeg. The Blackhawks did when Patrick Kane was hurt, and Patrick Kane happened to be healthy for the first round of the playoffs. So 2-on-1 for Tampa Bay going the other way. Shot! And UC Saros does his thing. UC Saros is an absolute beast right now. He is keeping the Nashville Predators in this game right now. 2 high-quality chances for Tampa Bay beginning here in the third period. And, even then there was a good save by Vasilevsky there too. But, and again, it's Anthony Sorelli. And Anthony Sorelli seems to not understand how to defeat UC Saros there. And UC Saros just has his number. So maybe Anthony Sorelli will get on the score sheet here tonight, but we'll see. And anyways, some other comments as I'm going through. Yeah, they do. It's under the coaches. Yep, 100% agreed. Let's see what else. NHL 66 for live game, and also Ryan will throw up live stats when the puck drops. Yep, and you can see the stats up here on the screen there, guys. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in to this watch along. This is the watch along for the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators. My name is Ryan Chambers, and I am the host of Starcastic Remarks, and I cover the Dallas Stars for the Hockey Podcast Network. So please go and like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and because you don't want to miss any more of these watch-alongs that we do every single day. And then I promise I'm going to be a lot more proactive with these live watch-alongs and do a couple more of these as the season goes along. Looks like Nashville is finally getting a little bit of pressure there, but they're really just getting some shots from the point. Right now, it's in the corner to Vasilevsky's left. And, I mean, Tampa is just taking care of business. However, they don't take care of business there. And, close one there. Vasilevsky with an easy save, but it looked dangerous considering the traffic that he had in front. It looks like that Tampa Bay is going to be taking an icing call here on this. Sergachev out on the ice, and he looks gassed, honestly. There's a shot of Tanner Jeannot, and Tanner Jeannot has been a revelation for the Nashville Predators this season. I'll go ahead and say it again, but I really wish that we had him on our team, that we had it on the Dallas Stars. He would be a fantastic option for the Stars, and he's been great for the Nashville Predators. And I'll have to look up his stats here. Maybe someone in the chat can do it for me, but he's been absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can pull up the stats for you guys here for Tanner Jeannot. But all right, so here, according to the NHL app, Tanner Jeannot, he's 24 years of age. I believe this is his second or first. It's really his first NHL season. He's still considered a rookie. But this season, he played 15 games last season, and so he still qualifies as a rookie in the NHL. But this season, he's played 52 games, 17 goals, and 14 points, 14 assists for 31 points this season. So definitely a guy for the Nashville Predators, and one of the reasons why they've been a surprise in the Central Division and why they're even holding on to a wild card spot right now. So shout out to Tanner Jeannot. So anyways, let's take go back to the comments here. I keep getting distracted by what's going on. 10-7 Leafs. My gosh. I don't even know who they're playing. Who are they playing? The Red Wings? You're kidding. Okay. Okay, no, it's a final. Okay, so this is from Kane's Stats Boy on Twitter here. And it's talking about the Toronto game. Sorry, we'll get back to the Stadium Series game here, but this is interesting. Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Detroit Red Wings 10-7, and the Red Wings were also the last team in the NHL to lose a game 10-7. And that was back on February 24th, 1993. The Buffalo Sabres beat the Detroit Red Wings 10-7. So go figure. Wow, that's incredible. But anyways, guys, wow, 10-7 Leafs. Back to the comments. Don K saying, "Go Tampa. We will see. We will see." And I think they're going to be able to pull this out. And I was definitely wrong about the offensive output that I was expecting. My prediction for this game was 6-3 Tampa. And that obviously doesn't look like that's going to be the case, considering there's only 14 and a half minutes left here in this game. So we'll see how this goes for the rest of this game. 3 more points. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what that's in reference to, NJ, but I apologize. City Life Project saying, Saros is so good. He definitely is. Andrew, hey, man, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Looks like RJ Calabro giving us a couple of updates. Like we said, Toronto actually wins the game tonight. It is a final 10-7, 17 goals in a game. That's insane. And then Montreal, who has been on a bit of a tear recently themselves, they beat the Ottawa Senators 2-1. Don K saying, just found your channel. Well, dude, if you just found our channel, we thank you. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any more of these watch-alongs. These watch-alongs are absolutely fantastic. We enjoy doing them, and we love talking to you guys and out there in the hockey community and letting us know what you guys think. I need over 6 man. Well, maybe, but we'll City Life Project. Check out Ryan's podcast on our community page. Watch alongs every day on the Hockey Podcast Network. Yes, we actually do our own post game show. The Starcastic Remarks crew does. I do Starcastic Remarks with my two brothers, and we do a after game review. We call it AGR after just about every single game. As the captain of the Nashville Predators, Mr. Roman Yossi takes a shot on Vasilevsky. Vasi says, no chance. And it is 13:37 remaining in the third period in this game, the Stadium Series held in Nashville where the Tennessee Titans play. And this is Nashville and Tampa Bay playing in this game. So let me know what you guys think about for the rest of this game, what you think is going to happen. I really think that with the way that this game has been going, that Tampa Bay is going to be able to edge out Nashville in this game. But I hope for Nashville's case, considering this is their home city, that they find some sort of gas or something to push back against the Tampa Bay Lightning and get themselves a win. Because, there's a lot of teams that are kind of chasing them right now in the Western Conference. And considering some of those teams right now, let me pull those teams up. I know the Stars are definitely one of those teams that we're chasing, and they actually beat the Stars in a shootout on Thursday in Pekka Rinne retirement night. Yeah, they really need these points. They've got Edmonton right behind them with 3 points behind. Anaheim is right there with the Stars with 59 points, and then Vancouver is there with 56. So if Nashville wants to solidify their spot as a playoff team in the NHL and the Western Conference, they really need to win this game. And, not only just for the points, but for the fact that this is a big game for the Nashville Predators, considering this is in their home state. It would be really nice to see them pull out the win here. Anyway, Andrew says, Ryan, how are you doing? Thanks, man. I'm doing pretty good. I'm real excited because I'm getting to do this sort of stuff again. My job as a band teacher has got a little bit significantly less busy, so I'm able to do these watch-alongs again, and you'll probably see me more on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel more often. So, we'll see. And I love doing these kind of sort of things as well. So, anyways, City Life Project says, let's go to a shootout. It's always fun to go to a shootout when you have these outdoor games. And one of the first outdoor games that I remember was actually Sid the Kid. And it was I believe it was Sidney Crosby who actually ended up winning the game in a shootout for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So seriously, would love to see this go to a shootout just a little bit longer, and would add a little bit more drama to this game. But right now, Tampa Bay is not allowing any kind of drama into this game. Although I say that, and it looks like Nashville is taking a penalty. Looks like for interference. Not sure. Oh, maybe it's not Nashville. Maybe it's not Nashville. Oh, it's Belmar. So this is an even bigger, a little bit more drama to add to it, to a kind of slow game, because it looks like Belmar's gonna. Oh, I don't know. That's weak. That's a weak call. I'd be upset if I was John Cooper. But anyways, yeah, and there's a shot of him sitting there complaining and yelling. But regardless of what he thinks, Nashville has the chance to tie this game. So City Life Project, it looks like we might get a chance to go to the shootout, because Nashville does have a power play goal in the game here tonight. So here it is, and too many, like 3 whiffs right in front of Vasilevsky by the Nashville Predators. So hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt them. But we will see what the Predators can do. About a fourth of the power play already gone. They got about a minute 20 to go. The Nashville Predators do, to tie up this game. Shot by Tanner Jeannot goes wide. It's kept in, though. Good. Oh, never mind. Oh, no, it's a breakaway. Breakaway for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Shot, and Saros continues to be the GOAT. My goodness. Seriously, this guy really has... I don't know what else to say about him. We've commented about him several times in tonight's stream, and the fact that he's doing fantastically. But he's sitting here keeping his team in the game. Ryan... Oh, I'm not sure who number 95 is. It's not Ryan Johansson. Johansson's 92. But anyways, after those couple of whiffs by Nashville, they had a couple of good opportunities. We haven't really seen anything else in this power play. So Nashville not really taking care of business here. However, they do enter the zone, into the corner, back up to the point, back deep, taking it to the front, kind of bouncing around, but Tampa Bay takes control. Oh, never mind. And number 14 for Nashville is able to keep it in the zone. Man, ref, get out of the way. Up to the point, shot, goes wide, and Tampa Bay is able to escape the power play of the Nashville Predators. And really, honestly, that is a huge missed opportunity if you're the Nashville Predators. Could have tied the game, could have made it 2-2, and could have gone to a shootout. But there's still a lot of time left in this game. There's still about 10.5 minutes to go in this game, and we'll see how the Predators respond to this bit of adversity from the Tampa Bay Lightning. It appears that Nashville is trying to keep control of the puck, but they're not really doing much with it. All right, now with Tampa Bay, they are behind their own net, behind Vasi, controlling the puck, seeing what they can do. It is exactly 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, how you think this game is going to go and finish. At this point, I really thought that Nashville was going to be able to tie this game, but I'm thinking that this game is going to end 2-1. And changing my prediction there from 6-3. This Tampa Bay is playing so well defensively in front of Vasilevsky right now. Now, Vasilevsky's made some good quality saves, but not to the extent of UC Saros. UC Saros has kept his team in this game here tonight. And but Tampa is just playing really well defensively. And they're continuing to control the puck. And one of the things that I find frustrating as a Dallas Stars fan, because when the Stars tend to have a lead, they tend to do what Stars fans is called turtling. And basically what that means is they sit back and they play defense for the whole third period if they're up by a goal or two. And what I'm seeing from Tampa Bay right now is, even though they have a 1-goal lead, they're not backing off the offensive pressure. Are they focusing more defensively? Yes, they are. They're taking care of their business in their own zone, but they're also still pushing for a third goal. They're looking for that insurance marker. So, and I think that's what really makes this team kind of... Oh, what a shot! Absolute beauty of a shot from Steven Stamkos. And he puts up the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 with less than 10 minutes in the third period. And wow, what a shot. Cross. Who is number 27 of the Tampa Bay Lightning? Let me know who that is. Maybe I need to look that up for myself, because that was a fantastic read. Absolute great keep. And then he's actually even the one who sets up the play here. Pass across and a great shot by Steven Stamkos. No chance for EC Saros there. Absolutely no chance. And with that, guys, I really think that that's going to be the nail in the coffin. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to end up winning this game. I just don't see them. These are the defending Stanley Cup champions. I don't see them giving up 3 goals and allowing Tampa to win this game here. So, and I mean, Nashville definitely looks gassed, and they look like they've got their tail between their legs right now. But again, there's still 8 minutes left, and I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. Whoa, what a bounce. What a weird bounce in front of Vasilevsky there. Nashville just kind of threw it in front of the net there and hoped something would happen, but nothing happened there. Oh, that ought to be a penalty shot. That ought to be a penalty shot. Nashville gets a break. And it looks like it's just going to be a penalty. It's not going to be a penalty shot. So Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning is going to go to the box for hooking here after a beautiful, beautiful setup there. And Nashville just is going to go on the power play. And you know, maybe I called this game too quick here. Maybe Nashville can get their ducks in a row here and take advantage of the power play like they did in the first period. But we'll see. Okay, back to some of the comments here as we're in a commercial break on TNT. Andrew says, "How old are your brothers?" I actually have. Funny thing, I am the oldest of 7 children. Right, so all the same mom, all the same dad. I am the oldest. I'm 28, and I have 5 brothers, and 3 of them, or 2 of them, regularly do the podcast with me. Chris is the third one. He is 20 years old, and then I have a brother named James who is 19 years old, and they both do excellent work with me. And it's one of the reasons why I love doing the podcast is because I get to spend time with my brothers, and we get to cover our favorite team and rant or talk about how great the Stars are or whatever. So, but anyways, that is their ages. And then also I have a brother who is in between my age and Chris's age. His name is Zach, and he is 25 years old. And then after that, I've got 3 more siblings. I've got a sister. She's number 5 out of 7, and she's a senior this year. And then I've got 2 younger brothers who are in high school. Cooper is a freshman. And then I've got a brother named Travis, who is the youngest, who is a 7th grader. So there is a 16-year gap between me and my youngest brother. But thank you for asking that question. It's very interesting. People ask me that all the time. It's just insane how many children that my parents had. It's stupid. But anyways, going into this power play here, looks like Nashville is going to take care of business. I haven't seen it here on TNT, but according to the stats here, they're going to take care of business. And there is the goal right there. This game is not over. Philip Forsberg for the Nashville Predators makes the game 3-2. And maybe I said this too soon. Okay. And Nashville Predators are back in this. And let's see if they can get some momentum going thanks to Philip Forsberg here. So it's just a simple cross-crease pass. It's kind of a broken play. And it's just a pass across, and Philip Forsberg comes down from the point, kind of sneaks behind the defense and gets the shot. And again, you can't blame Vasilevsky for that one. There was no chance for him on that one. Great shot by Philip Forsberg there, and great awareness to get down there and get the goal for the Nashville Predators. So let's see if in this ensuing shift if Nashville can get some momentum going. It's a shot, but from the point, and it's blocked by Hedman. But Nashville, they're buzzing. They're feeling it. They're getting their cycle game going down in the corner. Back out to the point. Shot from the right point. Saved by Vasilevsky. A little bit of a deflection there, but not much. And Nashville is definitely buzzing here. They are feeling it. Another shot from the point, but blocked this time. And this time, Tampa Bay is able to get it out of their zone. So we will see. And maybe I was too quick to say that this game was over. So I hope I'm wrong. Oh, turnover by Nashville. Shot. Oh, UC Saros with the game saver. And Nikita Kucherov probably getting tripped up there a little bit by UC Saros. So good to see UC Saros doing absolutely fantastic for the Nashville Predators. Honestly, guys, if there was a first star for the Nashville Predators, it's not Forsberg, it's not Jeannot, it is UC Saros 100%. He is the GOAT, and he is the only reason why this team is still currently in this game. So yeah, and considering one of the things that talking about Forsberg here, but Forsberg has 27 goals on the season, and he really honestly hasn't been heating up until recently. And I think someone on the broadcast just said that he's had 16 goals in the last 19 games. He's been very hot for this Nashville Predators team. But maybe he can be the hero for them and go get another one. Anyway, Nashville back into the offensive zone. They've got a little bit of pressure here, but again, Tampa Bay doing everything well defensively to make sure that nothing happens. Got the cycle game going down here in the deep. Granlund down in there. Granlund gets shoved over. The puck kind of trickles its way towards Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky's like, get this out of here, and knocks it into the corner. And Tampa Bay is able to clear the puck. No icing here. And like I said earlier about with the Stars and why I love the way that Tampa Bay plays and why they're a Stanley Cup contender, if they had not gotten that insurance goal, this game is 2-2 and we're looking at a shootout. So, I mean, again, it just goes to show you that even though you have a 1-goal lead, no lead in the NHL is super safe. So, and I say that as Nashville gets the icing call, or excuse me, there's icing against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it looks like there's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Nashville Predators. Once again, guys, my name is Ryan. Thank you guys for joining in along in this watch along with me, watching the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators in the Stadium Series game. They're playing in Nashville, where the Tennessee Titans play. And there's about 4 minutes, 51 seconds left in the game here tonight. And Tampa Bay is up 3-2. They did get an insurance goal. And the shots on goal so far tonight, 31-23 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Excuse me. I was already thinking about my next storyline for this was, again, UC Saros just standing on his head. This game could easily be 5-2, 6-2 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning if he wasn't standing on his head. But again, there's still time left, and we'll see what Nashville can do in these final 4 minutes to win the game. But it would be nice to see them get a win in an outdoor game. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that will be the case here tonight. But y'all let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think is going to happen here in the last 4.5 minutes here. So once again, guys, just to give you a quick goal summary in the game here tonight. It all started off with a weird penalty by the Nashville Predators, and specifically Ryan Johansson. And he was given a match penalty. It was eventually reduced to a 2-minute minor. And that kind of led off everything here in the game, and it's been a very physical game. And I mean, these two teams don't like each other. They really don't like each other. But anyway, the goals in today's game. First, it was Tanner Jeannot getting it started for the Nashville Predators. He got his 18th of the year from Tomasino, a fellow rookie, and also Colton Sissons, and that was a power play goal. And that they took that lead going into the first intermission. In the second period, both Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov would both get a goal on the power play. Braden Point's goal was from Kucherov and Stamkos. They would both get an assist on that. And then on the Kucherov goal, Hedman and Stamkos would get assists on that goal. So in going into the second intermission, Tampa would take a 2-1 lead, and Tampa definitely deserved to have that lead going into the second intermission. They completely dominated the second period. A lot of that might have been because they had several power play opportunities in that second period. But just in general, they just completely dominated the Nashville Predators, and the Predators just didn't seem to have a lot of pushback against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But we'll see here in a little bit if they can push back here in the last 4 minutes. But here in the third period, the scoring has been Steven Stamkos. So Stamkos has his third point of the game, and that came from Cal Foote, son of legendary Colorado Avalanche defenseman Adam Foote. He gets an assist on that goal, and so does Alex Killorn. And that would make it 3-1. But Forsberg, with his own power play goal, would make it 3-2 and at least give Nashville a little bit of hope. And that would be from Granlund and Johansson. And Forsberg, that was his 27th of the year. Stamkos, his 25th of the year. Kucherov, that was his 9th of the year. And Braden Point, that was his 20th of the year. So anyways, guys, looking at this game as we're back from commercial break here on TNT, there is 3 minutes and 45 seconds on my stream left in the third period. We'll see what Nashville can do. It's looks like one of the Nashville Predators tried to just split the D and take it in himself, but the defenseman for the Tampa Bay Lightning said no, see you later. And Nashville is controlling the puck right now, so I mean that's probably good for the Nashville Predators here in the third period. But Tampa's been very solid defensively in this third period. And this has happened a lot for Nashville. Now that I'm, thinking about it a little bit more, they're getting the puck into the offensive zone, but once they get it into the offensive zone, they're really not doing much with it. If that makes any sense, it's a lot of point shots that are getting blocked. There's not much interior pressure. A lot of the movement in the offensive zone is around the perimeter of the ice, so around the outside of the ice. And it's great if you can get those perimeter shots through, but you got to get them through. So, and they're not really getting that right now. Kucherov with a pass to Braden Point, and a great save by UC Saros there to keep this game a 1-goal game with 2 minutes remaining. 2-minute warning. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into some of the comments over here before this game ends. Sodapod, hope you hit the overman. Yep, I hope he does too. Sodapod again, band teacher. That's so. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's not easy being a band teacher or just being a teacher in general. Make sure you show some love for the teachers in your life. If it's a family member, or if it's a teacher that you used to have, who you're friends with on social media or something like that, show them some love, because it's been really hard being a teacher the past 2 years, given this pandemic. It's been very rough. But anyways, Andrew saying, hi, Stoapod, probably talking to Sodapod. Yep. Hi to Sodapod. Andrew also saying Sid the man. At this point, he is definitely a man. He is not a boy anymore. And Andrew also saying it's I'm guessing he's asking what is your band called. It's actually not like a band like you're probably thinking, Andrew. The band I'm a band teacher for like musical instruments and specifically wind instruments. So like saxophones, clarinets, trumpets, trombones, tubas, that sort of thing. That's kind of my job, and I teach high school and middle school kids how to play those instruments. So, but I work in a small town out in the middle of nowhere, West Texas. So that's where I work currently. I love where I'm at. I love working where I am, and I appreciate all the love for teachers out there, and show love for the teachers in your life. All right. Nashville has pulled their goaltender. Minute and a half remaining in the game here, guys. 6-on-5. Let's see if Nashville can take care of business here. They win the faceoff up to the point. Tanner Jeannot up with it. Tries to get it into the zone and into the slot area, but Tampa Bay Lightning say no cigar. And they do get it out of their zone. But Nashville very quickly back into the offensive zone with dump and chase hockey. I hate dump and chase hockey so much. But nonetheless, they do control the puck in the offensive zone up to the point. Over to the left circle. Shot goes wide. Johansson with the puck. Gets it up to the point. Back to Forsberg. Forsberg down deep in the left circle. Tries to go do a dirty goal. Oh, and lots of wax from Taylor Jeannot. And Tanner Jeannot getting waxed from the Tampa Bay players. Good for Tanner Jeannot getting in there. A goal's a goal, right? Doesn't matter how it goes in. As long as you don't kick it in. And they're showing the replay right now. Not a pretty goal if that one goes in. But who cares at this point? Johansson and Jeannot and also Forsberg all trying just to get in there and see if they can just get one past Mr. Vasilevsky here with 34 seconds remaining in the third period. Again, once again, before this gets to the end of the game, thank you guys for following along this watch along with me. Thank you guys for listening to me talk and ramble for the past 3 hours. I'm Ryan, and I am the host of Starcastic Remarks here on the Hockey Podcast Network. I cover the Dallas Stars, and if you want to find any of my stuff, we're all over social media. We have our own YouTube channel. Go and check that out. We'd appreciate any kind of support that we get. And anyways, 12 seconds remaining in the third period. Tampa Bay does not clear the zone, so last second hope for Nashville. And Tampa Bay is able to hold on to the win tonight. And a little bit of kerfuffle here at the end of the game behind Vasilevsky's net. So, guys, this game does end up being a Tampa Bay victory. They win 3-2 over the Nashville Predators as the kerfuffle continues. Lots of jarring. Whoa, F word. You can read that. Ryan McDonough with the potty mouth there. Anyways, guys, Nashville does end up losing this game. They do end up losing in front of their home crowd here in their city. So unfortunate for them. But Tampa Bay does get the win here tonight, and in large part due to the power play and that insurance goal there here in the third period by Steven Stamkos was absolutely huge, because otherwise this game would be going to a shootout right now. And it looks like I wonder if they're going to do a handshake for this game. They typically do, and it looks like it has started. So Johansson's leading it off for the Nashville Predators, and Steven Stamkos leading it off for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I love games like this, guys, these Stadium Series games. I hope the NHL continues this, and they continue to showcase the game of hockey and how incredible it is on these big stages like this. I would love to know what the capacity for this game was here tonight, because it looks like a giant, enormous crowd there in Nashville, Tennessee, in downtown Nashville. Excuse me if I can talk. I'm a little tired after 3.5 hours on the internet, but anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you once again for following along in this watch along. I am Ryan, and this has been the watch along for the Stadium Series game, Nashville against Tampa Bay. Once again, Tampa Bay wins here tonight. 3-2 is your final score. And please make sure you go and like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network so you don't miss any more of these watch-alongs. And also, we want to send a special thank you to the sponsor for our network, DraftKings. Please go and use the promo code THPN for a special little offer from them. And as the teams get ready for outside picture, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next watch along. We hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and thank you for being here.